Welcome to the Lounge Lizards podcast, presented by Fabrica 5. It's so good to have you here. It's a leisure and lifestyle podcast founded on our love of premium cigars, as well as whiskey, travel, food, work, and whatever else we feel like getting into. My name is Gizmo. Tonight I'm joined by Rooster, Senator, Chef Ricky, and Bam Bam, and our plan is to smoke a cigar, drink some bourbon, talk about life, and of course, have some laughs. So take this as your 242nd official invitation to join us and become a card-carrying lounge lizard. Plan to meet us here once a week. We're going to smoke a Honduran cigar tonight, share our thoughts on it, and give you our formal lizard rating. We share our interview from PCA 2026 with Ariana Eiroa from JRE Tobacco and Aladino. We debate the peaks and valleys of cigar aging, and we each share our favorite place in the world to smoke a cigar, all among a variety of other things for the next 2 hours. So sit back, get your favorite drink, light up a cigar, and enjoy as we pair 10 years age Bulleit Frontier Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey with the Aladino 250th. A Toro from Honduras on the pod tonight, boys. And we are back to Aladino. This is the Aladino 250th. And it's a 52 ring gauge cigar by 6 inches long. And boys, we are celebrating tonight.
Oh, yeah.
A semi-quincentennial.
Happy birthday to Rooster.
The 250th birthday.
Wait, where's the champagne? It's a birthday episode. Am I wrong?
Well, he doesn't drink.
Well, we do.
I couldn't find a vintage 250-year-old bottle of non-alcoholic champagne.
They actually do sell a vintage Bloom champagne.
At Costco?
Costco has it.
Costco doesn't have it. That's the problem. Otherwise, I would have it.
We are celebrating the 250th birthday of the United States of America tonight, gentlemen. And we have a patriotic cigar in our hands from our friends at JRE Tobacco, the folks who make Aladino.
Beautiful
And I got to tell you, boys, this
Very
feels
nice.
great in the hand.
Not just feels great, it looks great. I mean, the
does.
wrapper, it pretty much invisible seams.
It's pristine.
Yeah.
It smells good. The wrapper smells
The
nice.
band is handsome.
Yeah.
I love the blue with that faint yellow and red. This is fantastic.
Red, white, and blue.
Beautifully designed.
What I like about the red, white, and blue is it's almost like the white if like you were looking at a flag that was from like
Years
Yeah.
ago.
1800s.
It's
like it
like
has that creamy kind
Off-whitish,
of
yeah.
Patina.
yeah.
Little muted.
Look at us.
That's right.
Look
That's
at
a
us do.
toilet paper word.
We're doing it, Bam. All right, boys, let's cut this thing. See what we're getting on the cold draw and the wrapper. I'm happy that we got this cigar tonight, boys, because this shipped pretty late as it relates to July 4th, which, of course, for folks outside the United States is the birthday of the United States, July 4th, 1776. So this coming out on July 7th, a couple days after, but as close as we could get it because this just shipped a week or two ago. So what are you guys getting on the cold draw?
Well, what I'm getting on the wrapper is a toasted cinnamon raisin thing happening for me. And the foot.
You know what my cold draw tastes like, and you're going to think this is really bad.
Wait.
I'm going to get chastised for this.
It's a little minty for me.
It tastes like Chex Mix.
Oh, I can see that. And I can also see the mint. There's just that really faint.
You know that spice that's
like
on
a-
that Chex Mix?
It's like a grassy,
Mhm.
like a little hay.
I got some herbaceousness
Yeah,
here. Yeah,
like
for
grassy
sure.
notes.
Yeah. The wrapper for me gives me a little like potpourri.
Oh,
I'm just laughing at the Chex Mix because I actually think you're right.
Yeah.
He's laughing at that. He
Yes.
thinks you're right.
Yeah.
And what's funny is I haven't
It's such a weird call. I mean, in
Yeah.
how many hundreds of episodes, we've never said something has a Chex Mix.
and I actually don't like Chex Mix. I don't eat it. I haven't had it since I was a kid. But it's one of those flavors that it takes me right back to that.
This should be a good cigar. Senator, you've had this.
I have.
And?
Oh, I think we're in for a fun ride.
All right.
All right, boys, let's light this thing. The Aladino 250th. And again, it's a Honduran Toro. 52 ring gauge by 6 inches long.
Do we know how much this thing costs?
Price on this, Bam, is just around $15.
Okay. For a celebratory cigar that comes out once a year, it's not bad.
I think this is a one-off.
Oh, really?
I don't think that this is going to be any more than 1,000 boxes of 13 cigars. So 13,000 total cigars coming out here.
Makes sense. There's
And
only
I think
one
that's a one and done.
250th year, right?
I love that the lighters just continuously click.
The fourth Aladino we've done on the pod tonight. So I'm excited doing this for the 250th. This is one we've been looking at least since PCA, if not before. Very nice on the light. Different flavor profile from Aladino.
Very unique.
Not in a bad way. Just it doesn't taste like a classic series to me. It doesn't taste like an 85th.
It's different.
And I actually like the draw on this versus the draw I've been getting off of a lot of the 85th Robustos, which is a
Really?
little tighter. This is just perfect for me.
Perfect. I agree.
Getting some sweetness, carbohydrate, caramel even here a little bit, like brown sugar note.
I would say mine is like a little bit of espresso,
That's
a little bit of brown sugar,
very ambitious, chef.
I get
a little spice.
all of that. There's a little bit of creaminess, and there's like a faint bit of citrus that I get.
Yeah. Yep.
Caramel you're getting?
It's almost no citrus,
You're getting a little bit of what he said? Caramel?
not caramel.
Yeah.
I'm getting the citrus thing. It's like making you want to smack
Like
your
when
lips
you said
almost.
espresso, like it reminds me of like at a restaurant, like they'll put like a
lemon
lemon
twist.
rind,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
A
with
twist,
the
yeah.
espresso. Like that's kind of what I'm getting with this.
At this point, it's actually delicious. I like this better than I think any other Aladino I've ever had. It's not as like a lot of the Aladinos are very savory on the light, and this is not. This leans more sweeter
Really?
so far.
To me, the start of this isn't that sweet.
No.
Spoiler
I mean,
alert! I'll just say it's
relative-
going to get very sweet, which I think you'll like.
Relatively sweeter than the other Aladinos.
Yeah, or just like less savory to your
Less
point.
savory,
Like I feel
yeah.
like the flavors to start on this are like lighter and brighter than most Aladinos. They're like not as rich and savory as Rooster's describing.
I'm
That's how
having
I would.
an outer body experience right now with this conversation.
Why?
I don't agree at all with what you're saying.
You're not getting anything sweet here.
It's a good cigar right now, but I happen to love that 85th, the anniversary that you're talking about. That to me is a graham cracker, cream, light espresso with cream bomb for me.
For me, this is a better cigar than that right now.
Wow.
So far,
And you think this is sweeter than that cigar?
yeah.
At this point,
Even at this point,
Yeah.
something's up.
I don't
agree.
think. I don't think.
I don't think you're wrong, Bam.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Bam's wrong, but I,
don't think
also
so.
don't think Rooster's wrong. I just think somehow Rooster's like foreshadowing what's to come in the cigar because.
Oh, he's
well, I haven't had.
Oh,
it.
he's-
I
No,
haven't
I know
had
he
it.
hasn't. That's what I mean, like unintentionally. And I
he's
just say that
projecting
because
based on your comments.
I don't know about that, but
It's called Inception.
I'm going to be an asshole tonight. I'm trying not to be.
Just
I'm
another
just-
Tuesday.
Correct.
I'm just telling you the way it is right now. For me, all the Aladinos I've had, I like this one. Fits my flavor profile more, or my palate. I like this a
If,
little bit more.
if you were to say
now
that,
we just lit it, so
I know.
we'll
If you were
see.
to say that this is a bolder
It's not
expression than
bolder.
the other cigars, I
No.
think it's got a bit more body and a little touch of pepper for me right now.
I
I'm
disagree.
agreeing with you. I think compared to how the 85th starts for me, this has a little bit more oomph in this initial.
Just a touch.
more for me than the 85th Robusto.
And-
I
and
feel the
I-
opposite. I'm
I-
sorry.
I know.
Well,
And
yeah, well, your cigar may be smoking.
I
different,
also
know.
think all of the other Aladinos, just at the start, we're only a quarter inch in, so it's an initial discussion. They all start in a much more elegant experience for me than this is. This isn't bad. Those are much more elegant off the light.
All right, so I want to just like take
It's
each
all
because
over
there's
the
so many
place.
different comments. So I agree with Bam on this starts. How did you describe the way this starts versus the other Bam? The other ones?
The others, I think, are sweeter, a touch sweeter than this. There's more graham cracker and coffee and cream than what I'm getting at this point in this cigar that I get in those. And those are, I think, start in a more elegant manner than this does.
Okay, so
Not that this is
that's
bad.
the comment. Yeah, I guess the first time I had this, I sort of felt that way, and it was the citrus that, like, it was so bright the way this started.
Threw you off a bit.
I was thrown off, and I worried that maybe there was going to be some harshness. Luckily, that didn't happen, but it wasn't like a traditional Aladino. So I'm with you there. The one thing I definitely disagree on. I think this actually starts like body wise lighter than either the Cameroon or the 85th. And I'm curious as this progresses, like what you think in terms of the body of it, but I don't think by any means this has more body than
I
either of
think
those.
because those are, to me, a bit more elegant, I'm maybe interpreting that smooth elegance as having less body than this.
Do you
possibly.
think, for me, like right now, it's creamy. There's a little bit of cedar,
No
a little
pepper?
bit of no pepper, a
I'm
little
getting
bit
a
of like
touch
a
of pepper.
coffee espresso type note happening,
Mhm,
and a
mhm.
little citrus.
Okay.
Those are the 4 notes that I'm kind
Hmm.
of on right now.
So cedar is a good call out because I definitely get that. And
Me
the
too.
first one of these I actually smoked in the first inch. I felt there was a bit too much cedar, which is why my caution was kind of don't judge it in its first inch. But I think this has had more time than the one that I first tried. And I think the cedar is actually balanced in this.
Hmm.
So I think that was a product of probably just being too fresh off the truck.
So how many days have you had this, Giz?
So thankfully, I ordered these the first day they were available
Mhm.
from Small Batch Cigar, and they had just hit small batch. I mean, probably a day or two before that. So I've had these probably about 8 or 10 days now,
Okay.
something like that.
All right.
I haven't had them a long time.
They feel good.
I threw them right in the tower. They felt good when they came
They
in.
still feel good.
So for me, it's like, thankfully, I don't think they had much time to do, to acclimate
Acclimate.
too much coming from the factory.
These come in boxes of 10.
13.
Oh, 13.
You're like the
Okay.
original colonies.
Yeah, it's cool. I think cedar is accurate for me right now. A little white pepper is accurate, and a little nuttiness. That's kind of where I'm at right now with this thing.
With the citrus.
Not for me,
No citrus for you?
and I'm sensitive to that. Haven't gotten.
I'm
there
not getting the spice, the pepper note.
I'm getting a touch of white pepper.
Yeah.
I'm getting
A
some of the
hint.
rind.
yet.
On the
of
retro
citrus.
hill or
No,
on the initial
traditional
draw?
draw.
The regular draw?
Yep.
Mm.
On the retro, I'm getting a much creamier profile.
Giz.
I'm enjoying it so far.
Yeah.
I think all you guys are spot on in your own way.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of
In our opinions.
No, but I think it's a cigar that can be a little ambiguous in its delivery. I think there's a lot going on flavor-wise. I don't think there's one particularly dominant note, which I think is obviously what we're experiencing here and how the commentary is going. But
yeah, we're all
I'm
over.
looking forward to seeing how it comes together,
Cool.
as we get down into it. So we have a lot to get to tonight, boys. We're going to cut in an interview we did with Ariana Eiroa, Justo Eiroa's daughter, and Julio Eiroa's granddaughter. She works with her sisters and her family in the JRE tobacco business, making Aladino. And we're going to cut in an interview we did with her at PCA.
Let's
in a
not
little
forget the woman responsible for the Aladino 85th in Lancero.
while. Lancero coming out in December, she said.
Oh, that's
Nice.
Yes.
right.
Very excited about that. So let's talk again about this 250th we have in our hand tonight, boys. Again, 13 cigars in a box, 1,000 total boxes of production, 13,000 total cigars. Interesting, when this was originally announced by Aladino, it was called the Declaration, and then it was changed to the 250th due to some trademark concerns. So the original photos of this, actually where the 250th is on the band, it said Declaration, and then they had to change it prior to launch. We obviously saw this at PCA 2026. It came out at the end of June, and like I said, they're about $15 each. Interestingly, we have no idea what the tobacco is in this. This is one of those, boys, that every single aspect of the tobacco is undisclosed,
I don't like that.
which
Not-
is surprising to me
not at all.
because JRE is known for only using their own tobacco. They've never blended in outside tobacco, Nicaraguan tobacco. Everything they make from JRE Aladino comes from their farms, from their fields. So the fact that this is all undisclosed, I'm curious why.
Well, they could have grown some of this in Newark. That's a possibility.
I don't think so.
I agree. But that's aggravating.
I wish we had a little bit of an idea here what it is. I mean, it's odd because everything else is pretty clear from them, but
Well,
this one's
do you,
not.
do you think there's anything other than Honduran tobaccos in this?
I think if it's undisclosed, there has to be.
Yeah.
I don't see any other reason, to say that, right? If it was all Honduran, at least they could say it's a Honduran Puro. The fact that they're disclosing nothing, there's got to be tobacco from another
it
country.
would
in
be
this.
irrationally mysterious to
Yeah.
to do that. We have a lot of irrational guys in this club. Some of them are irrationally mysterious, and that's unnecessary.
Yeah, but I don't understand the secrecy about the blend.
Agreed.
You know, I mean, like,
I mean, I do when there's like, one type of tobacco that's from a very odd region
Yeah,
or a
like
rare
the
place.
Stoic stuff.
That's
Right.
correct.
I get that. But the entirety of it to not disclose that, I agree, just doesn't,
And
it doesn't make sense. And I don't think any consumer is happy with that.
but also Vance makes it clear that there is this quote unquote secret ingredient.
Yeah, and he
that's
tells you what
fair.
everything else is.
Yeah, exactly.
secret ingredient other than tobacco.
Well, a
You
secret
mean
Type
tobacco?
of tobacco.
Type of tobacco.
keep up, old boy.
Yeah, you said secret ingredient. I'm like,
That's
it's
what
his
he calls it.
what
It's
is
his
it?
birthday, be
Spray?
nice.
Oh, it is. It is his birthday.
Maybe it's sprayed.
All right, boys, let's go to some news. We're going to start with a not so nice one. Unfortunately, this news came out a couple days ago. The CEO of Drew Estate, Glenn Wolfson, passed away at the age of 70. Apparently, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in May and was starting treatment and passed just a little while later. He's been with the company since 2016 after serving as a consultant for most of his professional career. In July of 2016, he joined Drew Estate as their CEO as they had just been acquired by Swisher at that time. So that is around the time when Nick Malloa left, Steve Sacco left. It was kind of all around that same time. Obviously, we know that both of those companies, Foundation and Dunbarton, are both celebrating that kind of 10-year mark. So it obviously aligns with their exit from Drew Estate when they were purchased by Swisher. So Glenn Wolfson had been running the company for just about 10 years and passed away in June. So our thoughts go out to the Drew Estate folks and, of course, his friends and family. You know, you don't get a lot of these stories. We don't talk a lot about these kind of stories here on the pod about folks, obviously in positions like Glenn passing away while they're still in the job. So, just a rare one, but a sad one to see.
Very sad.
Let's go to another one now, another news story, boys. I found this one really interesting. So Phoenicia, who is the Cyprus-focused distributor of Cuban cigars for Africa, some of Europe, the Middle East, started adding a 6.5% surcharge to all orders of Cuban cigars as opposed to raising prices on individual products. So apparently, because of massive declines in sea cargo to and from Cuba, of course, as we know, it has had to switch from using sea freight to air freight, which has resulted in higher prices. So I find it interesting. I mean, obviously, Phoenicia, well in business with Habanos. Habanos has no problem raising prices. It's weird to see prices not going up, but some sort of surcharge being added. So, of course, we're talking about surcharges to retailers when they're purchasing product from Phoenicia, right? So I wonder how that
It's going to be passed on.
is passed on to the end consumer.
Is it coming through the Strait of Hormuz?
Well, no, because they're putting it on a plane now
Oh, okay.
because of the shipping problems. But also, I've heard, and I'm not going to get too specific on it, but I've heard, from some folks that the shipments coming in from Habanos from Cuba have been extraordinarily light.
In inventory.
Yeah,
Yeah, wow.
like hundreds of cigars per month. That's it.
It's no surprise.
So it's pretty crazy. I actually saw on Instagram yesterday, someone was saying that they're in Cuba currently, and they put up some pictures of, kind of the square over by Parque
Partagas shop.
Central, Partagas shop right
Yep.
over there. Put up some photos on the Malecon, etc. Said they had been there during the special period. They had been there during COVID, and right now is the most empty they've ever seen Havana. There was not a tourist in sight. So from an economic standpoint, you can only imagine how bad things have gotten there for folks. Of course, we keep in touch as much as we can. The power outages have been more pervasive. The cellular access is very limited right now. And unfortunately, it's, we're in July now. So the heat that these folks are dealing with, it's all bad.
Yeah. And it's not surprising.
So, of course, what does that mean? It means that the Cuban cigar production has to be down and probably will be for the foreseeable future. So, let's say that we were able here in the U.S. to get Cuban cigars shipped to us again. I don't even think there's going to be any supply. So I think it's going to be a long while until any sort of normalcy is even close to being found or resumed.
And how many more Cubans, I'm sure, have left
Mhm.
and have no intention of coming back? I mean, given the conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah, the brain drain's terrible.
If they can afford to leave.
I think they're finding any way they can to get
Yeah.
out.
Rafts.
A lot of folks are going to Spain. A lot of folks are, claiming asylum and
That's
all
true.
those things.
Yeah,
So as long as they can
that's-
get that plane ticket,
Yep.
a lot of folks are able to do that. And who are the folks that are able to do that? The ones that have, an entrepreneurial
here.
mind. They're young. They have families willing to donate. That's who's leaving the island. So as far as the demographic that remains in Cuba, it's certainly dwindling down as far as, the youth and, I'm sure the birth rate is significantly down. So it's just a really, really sad situation there. So all in all, it's a weird time for Cuban cigars. And I just thought it was interesting, Phoenicia announcing that surcharge on shipments as opposed to raising prices. And I would think for folks in Africa and the Middle East and some of Europe where Phoenicia serves, I think they're going to see probably a little bit more than a 6.5% increase on those cigars. So that's the story, boys. How's the cigar treating you now? Settling in there, Bam? You look a little happier.
It's pretty
Pretty
good right
good.
now. It's graham crackery right now for me. Almost like a honey crisp type thing happening.
Honey graham cracker.
Yeah, something like that. It's really good.
See, the first inch, it's confusing. It's just not like a typical Aladino, and then all of a sudden it like kicks right into.
Yeah, it's about an inch. I mean, I hope this thing finishes off beautifully. I think it will.
Listen, I called out caramel and brown sugar first draw.
Yeah, I think brown sugar's kind of accurate. A faint
Yeah.
hint of that, but
Yeah.
definitely graham crackery type thing happening.
Yeah.
Very good. Almost Cuban-like right now for me.
I'm very
Agree.
creamy on the
Right?
retro hill.
Rooster, any Cuban-like aspects for you?
I think you're right. You're spot on. It
Right.
is very Cuban-esque.
Yeah,
I
very
mean,
impressive.
We know that the Honduran tobacco is
Of course.
closest to Cuban tobacco there is, but the notes that you're getting from this,
Dare I say,
I
this
have
is
one in mind. I'm curious.
it's like a kind of like an E2 for me a little bit.
I can see that.
But this is probably closer than any other Honduran cigar that I've personally had that is closest to what a Cuban cigar would give you.
I was actually going to compare this to a Siglo 6.
That's an interesting call.
Oh,
out.
yeah. That's a great call out.
I like that.
I do too. I was actually going to bring one of those tonight.
So, boys, I want to get to our interview with Ariana Eiroa in a minute. But first, let's go to our pairing. It's a little early, but let's go to our pairing tonight. We have an interesting bourbon in the house tonight. We are back to Bulleit Bourbon. This one is a patriotic edition, the Frontier Whiskey.
Say it, Bam. America.
America.
10 years
Fuck yeah.
aged.
Fuck yeah.
McLeod.
Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey coming in at 45.6% ABV, just over 91 proof.
Cheers.
Boys, cheers.
Happy birthday.
Rooster, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Salute.
Happy 250.
get better with age.
Correct.
Oh, this is good.
It's nice.
I have to say it's good. It's delicious, actually.
It's a little thinner than I expected, honestly.
Yeah.
Really?
It's good flavor, but it's a little thin.
Little
Very.
thin, little hot, but it's good.
Oh, I don't. It's
I don't think the
I
heat's
don't
there,
think
but
it's very thin. I mean, compared to the regular Bulleit is very thin.
Yeah.
This has, I think, more viscosity and it's much richer. It's fun to see like a elevated version of like the standard fare Bulleit bourbon that you're used to mixing in like
Correct.
old fashions and
Fair, yeah.
Manhattans.
this is really quite good. How much is that bottle?
$45, Bam.
That's a bargain.
Oh, now it's even better.
This is very, very good. Very happy with this. Getting the usual notes: vanilla, butterscotch.
Mhm.
And how's it working for you with the cigar?
For me, nicely. I feel like there's dessert flavors in both, which I think complement well.
I actually think that the bourbon is kind of making the carbohydrate thing
Mhm.
in the cigar pop a little bit, which is really nice.
Mhm.
But I think they're very complimentary. And I like, even though that this is a Honduran cigar and we're drinking a bourbon here, it's not overpowering. It's higher proof than what we would normally have in a rum or a scotch or something, probably in the low 40s,
What is it? Do you know?
45.6.
Okay.
But it's still very smooth and easy to drink, and it's going down easy.
I think the pairing's outstanding.
I agree with that.
Delicious,
Yeah.
satisfying. Very
We
good.
actually intended tonight, Senator and I were working on this, to try to get Buffalo Trace.
Mm.
And I walk in to the local liquor store like a clown, I guess.
Assuming
I'm walking up and down the aisle. I can't find it. I asked the guy, "Hey, where's Buffalo Trace?" And he literally laughed in my face. I didn't know it was scarce.
Which was wild, just because like I've recently been drinking on United flights and I've actually enjoyed it. And this was last minute. I suggested this to Giz, so I'm like, something simple, Buffalo Trace, if it's served on United, I mean standard, regular fare, they should have it right here. Yeah, I mean literally, and you'd think they'd have it right over here.
Yeah,
and
strange.
even Total Wine and More is completely sold out of Buffalo Trace in every single size.
Wow.
You should have gone to Costco.
No,
Did
they
you see it
probably
there?
have a 2-liter bottle of Maker's Mark, but not Buffalo Trace.
So
Costco,
this is
Costco gets some good bourbon because I've seen. I will admit, I even follow like a Costco Reddit thread.
Are you serious?
Look at this.
Dude, you're on wait. You're on Costco Reddit now?
And they get Blantons.
You're
see people
surpassing
post-
Rooster's presence in
I have
Costco,
a
now.
Costco.
Wow.
I follow a Costco Reddit thread as well as a Facebook Costco account. So I'm right there with you.
I just follow Rooster, and
That's
he
how I
gives
found-
me everything I need.
That's how I found
Yeah.
those olives I was looking for.
Wow.
People on Reddit, and they were like, they're amazing, but they stopped carrying them at some locations.
I've
But
only been
thankfully ours
talking
has.
about this for 250 years.
So I want to say, by the way, this is going to make some sense to us, but it's not going to make a lot of sense to the listeners. We recorded an episode that is actually now going to come out the week after this episode that we talked about you joining Costco.
Mm.
This episode is going to come out now for July 4th because we got this cigar, the Frontier Whiskey, Rooster's birthday.
Yeah.
So this is actually slotting in. So it's going to make a little less sense, but give us a week. It'll make a lot more sense. We talk about Senator finally making his way
My Costco
to
baptism.
Costco. Correct. So like I said, boys, this is the second Bulleit bourbon we did on the pod. We did the standard fare Bulleit bourbon quite some time ago. Let's talk a little bit about Bulleit. So the modern Bulleit brand was revived by a guy named Tom Bulleit in 1987, inspired by a family recipe attributed to his great-great-grandfather, Augustus Bulleit, who supposedly produced whiskey in Kentucky during the 1800s before he mysteriously disappeared. Some of that family history is difficult to verify, but apparently it's become very central to the brand's identity. Seagram's purchased the brand in 1997, and then later it became a part of Diageo. For years, Bulleit sourced whiskey from other Kentucky distilleries before opening its own distillery in Shelbyville, Kentucky. So Bulleit has one of the highest rye contents of any mainstream bourbon. Apparently, some of the notes we should be looking for: vanilla, caramel, toasted oak, orange peel, dried fruit, baking spice. On the palate, some brown sugar, toffee, vanilla, cinnamon, clove, leather, pepper, charred oak.
Yeah.
You guys getting any or all of
I
those?
actually think
Yeah.
the overwhelming majority of those notes are present,
I
I
agree.
agree.
and a lot of them are also in this cigar.
Yeah, that's true.
It is interesting how many of those we actually did note
Mhm.
earlier when talking about the cigar,
Correct.
which is cool.
I'm really loving how this is drinking. It is so easy to drink. The flavor is delicious. You could get pretty fucked up on this in one night and be happy about it.
It's true.
It is outstanding.
So I just came back from Pennsylvania today, and I've actually been drinking Bulleit bourbon with an old fashioned mixer that I found at Total Wine. It's called Buttermilk. It's a phenomenal mixer for old fashioned. So like when you pour your bourbon into the glass, it's 1 teaspoon, and that's it. And it is perfect. There's no
Hold on.
yeah, it's crazy.
What?
1 teaspoon of this syrup, and it's perfect old fashioned flavor.
Interesting.
It's unbelievable how
And
concentrated
the rest
it is.
is all bourbon?
Bourbon and that. Yes.
Well, you got to
That
dilute it,
seems-
right? There's stirring or shaking happening.
Well, you
to
stir it and
create
shake it in
that-
ice, etc.
Well,
but
yeah.
you're not putting any. There, it's not like a
I'm
bunch of
kinda
simple
with
syrup.
Senator,
et
it
cetera.
sounds like it's some powerful stuff.
It's definitely powerful, but it's very good.
No, but
Well, we're
usually
gonna
an
have
old fashioned is a cube,
Oh,
a
that's
sugar
actually
cube,
true.
and
There's-
there's not much else in there.
There's no vermouth like a Manhattan.
No,
No.
That's
no.
why I was thrown off.
Just
by it,
simple
'cause I'm
syrup
like,
and-
Simple
one
syrup.
teaspoon.
Well, simple syrup is a hack. It's usually some kind of
Sugar?
like sugar cube that you muddle, and
Oh,
you
that's-
muddle it with bitters.
I rarely see
Right.
that at a bar.
Yeah.
I'd love to actually get a proper old fashioned with the cube muddled. I have yet to see it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's
Wow.
you get that a couple splashes of a bitters,
Hmm.
and
I'm going to bring this buttermilk.
We should review it.
The dilution.
I was going to bring it tonight, but I didn't want to do that without Pagoda because he's Mr. Old Fashioned.
Totally.
He would have been really upset. So I will bring it in. We'll set that up.
Well,
I'll
he's
bring that
Mr.
in.
Manhattan.
Well, he
To be
he's-
fair.
No, he loves old
He
fashions.
loves old fashions too.
Believe me.
So does Mr. Bam Bam.
correct.
We
Don't hurt my feelings.
Old fashioned.
Not as illustrious as Mr. Pagoda, but you're
Illustrious.
getting there.
We've been talking about doing mixed drinks here for a while. We've just never done it.
Let's
But
do an old fashioned showdown.
I'm motivated
I'll
by
put
this
one up,
by this
Pagoda puts
buttermilk.
one up.
I'm putting one up with my
You put one
buttermilk.
up. There you go.
Oh, wow.
I like it.
I do too.
I also, by the way, I did think about tonight making paper planes,
Ooh.
but Pagoda loves them. And
Yeah, we
so
can't do
I
that to
decided
Pagoda.
to wait till he's
Yeah.
here. Because with this cigar, actually would have worked well.
I do love a paper plane.
So this is a fantastic pairing, boys. And now what I want to do is go to our interview with Ariana Eiroa. We had a great conversation with her. It's about 15 minutes long from PCA 2026. We talked about her contributions to JRE and Aladino, the dynamic of working in the office with family and her dad, who is Bam Bam's best friend. Justo's a great dude.
That's my brother from another mother.
And we all left this conversation with Ariana very, very impressed with her. I mean, very well spoken, knows her stuff,
Correct.
clearly is a driving force in that business now and is certainly going to be with her sisters long into the future. So I think JRE and Aladino, it's in good hands.
Great
moving
hands.
forward.
Inspires a ton of confidence about the future of their business and even just the younger generation across the cigar industry that's really coming up now. Super impressive.
But the idea of three sisters eventually taking the helm, a woman-controlled business in the cigar industry, that's
pretty cool, man.
Really impressive.
Yeah, it's awesome. And they're all cigar smokers. Like every time you walk
Yeah.
by the booth,
Yeah.
they're smoking cigars. She smoked a cigar with us, they're into it.
Correct.
And of course, like Senator said, she's the reason that the Lancero is going to be coming out, the Elegante in the 85th. So looking forward to that. So we're going to go now to our interview with Ariana Eiroa from PCA 2026, and we'll be back to you at the end of the first third. Live from PCA 2026, we are sitting here with our first guest of the show, boys,
Correct.
Ariana Eiroa, the daughter
Hello.
of Justo Eiroa. And everybody that listens to this podcast knows how much we love Aladino cigars. Of course, we had your father on last year, which was awesome. He's hilarious. Him and Bam Bam have a real
We've got something going.
connection. And we really wanted to interview you because we find your family dynamic here at the show in the business fascinating because you and your sisters are really, really involved with the business. So can you tell us a little bit about that dynamic, working with your parents, your sisters in the business with cigars? Can you kind of lay that picture out for us?
Yes. Honestly, to start off with, I think we're all happy with it because we think that it brings us even closer than we already were before. And we all say we wear multiple hats. Like our roles are just like a technical term because we'll do everything. We like help each other out where it's needed. And we're not like shy to try anything new. Like my dad will say like to my sisters and I, do this for me and we'll go ahead and do it. My mom gets involved. The rest of the team that works with Aladino also gets involved. So it's very collaborative.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that there's one job that's honestly done alone, which is why I feel like we're in so much sync as a company. And everything that we've been executing has been honestly teamwork. So
Fantastic.
So aside from your family, your
Mhm.
immediate family, how many other folks are on the Aladino team in the office?
in the office, 2 more people.
So it's really
Yes.
it's
Wow.
it's really a family operation.
Mhm. Yes.
And obviously your older sister's in Europe,
yes,
correct?
she's in Europe.
Vivi, yeah.
Yes.
So I was laughing a little bit because every time we ask Justo a question at the
Mhm.
booth, he looks to you for the answer.
Yeah.
When's this coming out? What's going on with this? What's happening here?
Because he's all over the place,
It's-
so
yeah.
he doesn't.
That's a lot of pressure.
He's
Yeah.
he's the master blender talent.
yes.
So as far as working every day with your family, you
Mhm.
said it's brought you closer and whatnot.
Mhm.
What do you find to be the greatest joy with, like, what have you fallen in love with as far as tobacco goes? That obviously you've come into this through your family.
Mhm.
What made you fall in love with tobacco?
Honestly, seeing my grandfather work through it, like even today when we're down there, he's up at 6 a.m. He's already working. And every time we're there, he just likes to teach us again everything. And it's inspiring just to see everything he's been able to accomplish. So that's the best part of it because it's like you want to be able to carry on what he's built.
So I have to ask, how old were you when you had your first cigar?
Maybe like 16.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Not too young, I would think.
Yeah, not too young at all.
What of the cigars that you make do you prefer? I know you prefer like shorter, smaller cigars. We were talking about that yesterday, but
Yes, the Lanceros are my favorite.
okay, the Elegantes.
Yes.
That's how we fell in love with Aladino.
That's right.
Was
Yeah,
the
the classic.
classic Elegante.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the red box Elegante.
That was our
we-
first Aladino.
It-
Oh, wow.
It blew our minds. Yeah, we loved it, and we've chased. We've since fallen in love with the Cameroon in
That's-
Robusto.
Yeah.
Your dad turned us onto that one actually last PCA. Said
Yeah.
you have to try that next. And then the 85th that you released last year in
Yes.
celebration of your grandfather. We have absolutely fallen in love with that Robusto as well.
Yeah, it's my favorite blend.
Yeah, it's amazing. And we got very excited at the booth yesterday because inside the little display case was the 85th in Lancero, the
Yes.
Elegante there. So can you tell us a little bit about that development?
So it was actually funny because I think it was maybe around August, September. It was last year. I was down at the farm with my grandfather, and before I left, he's like, "What do you want to take?" And I was like, "Oh, an 85th, but like Lancero." So they gave me like 10 cigars, and then I smoked it. I smoked one with him, and then I smoked it in Miami with my dad and my sister, and we're all like, "Wow, this is really good." Then we just started posting it for fun, and people are like, "When is this coming out?" We didn't have plans of coming out with it. So my dad's like, "I guess we're gonna come out with it and do something fun for the 85th. It's gonna be a limited drop because we want to make it special just so it's like a one-time release and kind of like a collector's item." So I think just like this being spontaneous is how it came out.
And you said it's going to come out later this year,
December.
December 26th,
Yes.
just in time for the holidays.
Yes.
Excellent.
Sounds like we're going to be collecting a lot of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to
No
try to get
doubt.
as many as we can.
We're going to corner the market on those.
So the 250th anniversary
Yes.
of the founding of the United States is coming up.
Yes.
The birthday of America.
Mm-hmm.
And like many other cigar makers, Aladino is joining the celebration there, and you're releasing the Aladino 250th.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about that cigar?
Yes, it's an undisclosed blend, but the box was honestly, it came out beautiful. It was a lot of teamwork. I barely had part of that, so I can't take credit for that, but honestly, the Aladino team did a great job. And they decided to do 13 cigars to represent the original 13 colonies. And the inside of the box has part of the Declaration of Independence written on it. So it's honestly a tribute to the United States, and we just wanted to pay back to our country. So
Whoever's responsible for your box art, and I'm sure it's many since you said
Yes.
everyone wears many hats. I mean, just beautiful. The fact that the interior, even on many, like has these
Mhm.
ornate, pictures and paintings. We love the boxes.
The box
And honestly,
quality is off the
the-
charts.
the team in Honduras, the box factory kills it every time.
Yeah. That
they really-
satin lacquer finish
Mm-hmm.
is just fantastic. It's very
Yes.
unique.
Yes.
So obviously your family story is a Honduran story.
Mhm.
And to hear, including the boxes, everything coming out of Honduras is pretty
Yes.
unique, I would think, that
Mm.
everything is coming from Honduras.
Mhm.
And all of your tobacco obviously is coming from Honduras as well. They're all puros, right?
Yes, except the Maduro wrapper, we buy that currently, but my grandfather's already taking the challenge. He's starting to grow some to see if we can just make it ourselves. So hopefully in the future.
Day to day, what is your biggest challenge? Like when you wake up in the morning, what do you sometimes, let's say, or most often, what are you stressed about? Like what keeps
Getting-
you up at night?
To the office on time. If not, my dad kills me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sounds like
what-
my boss.
What time is on time?
Before 9 a.m.
Oh, that doesn't work for this group either.
Not
You
at
should have
all.
heard him this morning
Especially
trying
some-
to get here for this 9 a.m. interview. So let's talk about the new wine. Your dad
Yes.
was really excited about the new release, the Gorbusto.
Yes.
And there are 3 separate cigars. We're all holding one. So
Mhm.
can you tell us a little bit about the genesis of this idea and the cigars? And then, of course, the story behind the 3 different characters, I guess we're calling them,
Yes.
that represent the Gorbusto.
So Aladino in itself, we would say it's a very classic cigar. And with Gorbusto, we wanted to go into the bolder side of the market. And honestly, we're doing a shape that isn't in the Aladino portfolio, 60 by 4.5. And we wanted to make it its own brand, just how Tadascan is its own brand. We think Gorbusto has a lot to speak for itself. And the whole synopsis of Gorbusto is that when you walk into a lounge, you're going to find like 3 types of personalities, at least within, like, people will be able to resonate with one of the 3 characters. So we decided to make them, they're like, each character is its blend. So we have Gory, he's the jock. We have Chimp, he's the intellectual. And we have Orang, he's like the artsy guy. We're not saying that those are the 3 specific personalities, but within those, people can identify something of themselves with that cigar. And we don't want to disclose the blends because we wanted them to try it based on the character.
The 3 characters work pretty well in this group.
Yeah, I already assigned a cigar for everyone sitting at this table.
It was pretty easy to do, honestly. So this is a unique size.
Yes.
60 by 4.5.
Yeah.
Obviously calling it the Gorbusto.
Yes.
Gordo Robusto. What made you guys do the 60?
My dad.
Just wanted to do a 60 ring gauge. So the characters, how did you guys come up with this idea to effectively put gorillas, apes on like why those characters?
I think when my dad and Trey were speaking at first, I think Trey brought up the idea of gorillas, something around those lines. And then we took that with we had someone help us creatively, and he really made each monkey from scratch and gave it the personality. And we decided to show my dad towards the end once the creative process was ready for his approval, because if we got him in the nitty-gritty, he would have freaked out because he doesn't see anything until the final picture is there. So honestly, that was a lot of teamwork.
So obviously you have a long history, your family has a long history in the business.
Mm-hmm.
You and your sisters are the next generation
Mm-hmm.
of that. Obviously that's going to be your company someday,
Mhm.
right? So what does the future of Aladino look like from your perspective?
A lot of innovation while remaining true to our roots. Like, we already know what our next releases for the next 3 PCAs are.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
that's how far in
Wow,
advance we
that's
like
pretty
to
cool.
work. Yes. We have my dad's 10-year coming out next year. Then the year after that, my sisters and I are coming out with a blend. And then I don't want to release what's coming out the year after. I gave you
Okay.
enough sneak peeks, but
Okay.
we're really working hard on getting time to work on the project. Like, for example, the Gorbusto took a whole year to even define like what we were ready for. And we learned that when we take more time, it's a better outcome, because the 85th, we really took our time with it, just the design of the box. And we got great feedback. So we realized like it's okay to take a little bit more time than to rush something into the market.
I think, we've been hearing a lot about women in cigars, and it seems to be a growing market, I think. I think stats say it's between 10 and 20% of the market and kind of continually growing. I think Padron said it the other day, it's all about passion more than gender. What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like there's a growing side to women in the industry. But in my case, honestly, I've always seen women in the industry because, my mom works there. The manager in the factory in Honduras is a woman. So like she helps run the entire operation. So it's nothing out of the norm for me, but I do get happy seeing more women get involved.
How many cigars do you smoke in a day?
I don't smoke every day.
Okay.
But when I smoke,
you
I
do.
can smoke 4, 5.
Love it.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Now we're
Nice.
talking.
She's a lizard.
Correct. I've got a question about blending. Now,
Yes.
we know your dad's the master blender.
Mm-hmm.
How often are you interacting with him? And does he have a blending team that supports him?
Yes.
And
So
do you have interaction in that part of the business?
yes, my dad's very inclusive with my sisters and I.
Mhm.
When we're in the farm, it's always him, my grandfather, and there's 2 other guys that are really 2 to 3 that are really instrumental in helping as well. And they decide things first, and then my dad doesn't like to really like go forward with something until he like gets my grandfather's approval, because he really does look up to him. And once my grandfather approves, then we start to try, and honestly, like that's how we get to the tweaking, but it's a lot of teamwork, and my dad definitely wouldn't do something just on his opinion. He likes to get feedback.
So there's collaboration and
Yes.
multiple individuals testing
Yes.
and providing notes.
A lot of quality control
That's
there.
great. Fantastic. Good to hear.
Yes.
But it seems like it's a generational product, right? Between 3 generations all working together to try and get a product to market. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a commitment to the family, right? And the way the families work together, I think it's amazing.
I think that's so interesting. Like if you think about tobacco, like we see families at the PCA show working together. Obviously, I think your family, as I opened this whole thing with, is fascinating to us in that it really is your mom, your dad, and you and your sisters. And you are running the show. If you walk by your booth, we've talked about this, on episode from the prior PCA shows. You are sitting there selling.
Yeah.
You're talking to the retailers. You are selling the product. Like, you are very, very involved. And I think in a way a little unique versus, some of the other, tobacco manufacturers. But I think the one thing that's common that I love in tobacco is that family story and the heritage. It really ties everything together. It seems like a very, very common thing in most of the tobacco businesses, most of the cigar manufacturers.
I think it's what draws us to most makers. When there's a family influence and a family managing comprehensively the entire business, it makes it much more interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ariana, thank you so much for sitting down with us. We love your product. We love your dad. We love Aladino, and we really look forward to, the next few years, see what's coming from you guys, and we wish you the best of luck. And thank you so much for sitting down with us.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
We'd like to thank Ariana Eiroa for her time at PCA, that awesome conversation that we had with her. Again, really, really impressed with what's going on over at JRE Aladino. Of course, boys, we've come to the end of the first third here on the Aladino 250th, which we talked with her about. How's everybody feeling right now on the cigar, the pairing, Rooster's birthday, the whole thing?
I'm feeling great with this.
Right.
It's going phenomenally well together. I'm getting some savory notes again that have kind of made a return. I don't want to say tomato, but it's along those lines.
Boy, here we go.
Tomatoes back.
Tomato in the cigar?
It's along those lines.
I think you
my
got to
God.
put him on a pip, dude.
Yeah, this is
This
getting
is
out of control.
It's out of hand. I'm getting a little brown sugar that's consistent. I'm getting that bready, graham crackery thing that's very consistent for me.
Bread.
But it's like kind of
Tomato bread.
Panzanella salad all day long.
No
baby.
ketchup.
I mean, like a sun-dried tomato, or?
I'm completely.
But I do agree with Chef that it did. I am getting a little savory.
There's a savory
savoriness there.
saltiness thing happening, but it's like vegetal in a sense. So that's where I think that's what it is for me. It's like savory and vegetal. There's little moments of it, but I am getting also that graham cracker bready note.
It's kind of in that lane for me.
Yeah.
Nothing savory for me at all, which I'm happy and welcoming. It's really quite good.
Yeah, I'm not getting the citrus anymore.
Same. Citrus is pretty much
Citrus is
dissipated.
done.
I am getting more sweet for sure than I am savory, but I'm getting some of the saltiness that Chef is talking about. And every so often there's like a slight vegetal note that like makes an appearance, but I would still say that overall it's more sweet than savory.
Yeah. Giz.
I agree with everything you guys are saying.
Yeah. Vegetal.
Yeah, I think there is a little bit of an earthy vegetal thing for me. The sweetness is definitely there. I would say right now there's not like a defined kind of note that I can put a dart in. You know what I mean? As far as like this is the primary note. Not that it's muddled, but there's a lot going on still.
You're not getting like a croissant with a little honey drizzled on it and some salty butter.
I'm definitely getting a little salty thing. I'm not getting a croissant. I love the aroma at the burn line.
You know, that's something I haven't been doing for a while.
It's very subtle, the aroma.
Yeah.
It's not overpowering.
It's nice, though.
Yeah.
Do you think the cigar is burning rather fast?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it so much, it's hard to kind of put it down.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I will say the retrohale is amazing.
Yeah.
I think I'm actually preferring the retrohale over the normal draw.
At this point, yes, because a normal draw isn't as sweet as it started.
But I'm getting, I'll be honest though, the traditional draw is where I'm getting that salted buttery thing happening for me.
I'm wondering if we're having these moments of savoriness because we're going a little fast here.
I don't think we are. I mean, I honestly have been trying to be slow, and I feel like it's burning right through. I mean, it didn't feel like a heavy cigar, so maybe it's just not super packed. But I'm not pulling on it a lot.
It pairs great with the drink tonight.
Yeah, the drink is excellent.
Well, they're both excellent together.
Do you agree now that in body this is a little bit lighter than the 85th?
Yes.
At this point, yes.
Correct. But still very satisfying.
I feel like I feel like the 85th kind of creeps up from the light.
Agree.
I feel like this has kind of, not in a bad way, just stepped down and kind of plateaued.
Right.
now that we're in the second third?
In body, not
In
in
body.
flavor, just
Yes,
body.
Just in
Correct.
body.
Because the
Flavors
flavor,
all over.
It's
Yeah, that's all
outstanding.
there. But
And I would love, this would be a great starter to an evening.
But that's why I say that, because like if I had to order the Aladino cigars that we would typically smoke, like I would start with this, then have the 85th, then have the Cameroon.
Exactly.
By body.
Yeah.
Or strength.
Yep.
Too.
so I got to tell you, boys. So I came back from Pennsylvania today, and I was thinking about this because I don't really know the answer to this question, I think, for any of you guys. But I was out there with Mrs. Gizmo. I was out where I grew up. My dad's kind of compound out there where I grew up, and he was out of town. So it was just her and I. And I'm in the middle of the woods. I mean, the nearest person might be a half a mile.
Were you frolicking in the woods with the wife?
Frolicking, but not in the woods.
Naked?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a little- yeah, there was a
I'm
little
impressed
skinny-
by that. There we
There
go.
was a little skinny dipping, Bam, if you're wondering.
You have a pond?
Well, there's a massive pool there, and
that's
yeah,
cool.
he's got a whole setup. But
That's-
anyway,
That's great.
seriously though, it was, I had this kind of realization, like, I mean, I guess when you're a kid, you just, I was just trying to get away, and I came to, New York area, went to college, etc. But now going back, it's like this little slice of heaven for me that when I sit down with a cigar there, it's like, I don't think there's any place in the world I would rather be. Like any vacation spot, I know it's crazy, Senator.
Oh, you grew up there.
But it's weird going back and sitting there with a cigar and having this realization, like, I can't wait to go. Like, that's like my piece of heaven. So what I'm wondering from you guys is, where in the world, if you could go anywhere at any time to sit and have a cigar, where is your slice of heaven? Anywhere on the planet that you've been, where is that place?
Senator's patio. Backyard.
You and Edie up.
That's not a bad choice.
I want to say Cuba during a less, restless time. I've never been, so I don't know what it's like, but I mean, it has to be like the Mecca, right? Of where you could smoke a cigar. But of places that I've been, I mean, I absolutely love lighting up a stick at a taverna in Greece. It's
That's great.
it's
That's
a
good one.
beautiful thing. I mean, there's just nothing better. The air is great. The sounds are great.
Mm.
The culture is amazing, and just everyone, being able to smoke wherever you want, it's a beautiful thing. I really enjoy
I think
it.
lighting up a cigar with you guys here, recording every week is special.
It is special.
Sorry, Rooster, you really had to take it there.
Well, there's many years of,
He's had a lot of experience.
250th.
wisdom right there, man.
No, but I appreciate that. I actually coming back today. I mean, I drove back from PA today for the pod. Like, the wife was like, you're really going back to record? I was like, yeah. Number one, we have to.
hmm
But number two, I'm actually really looking forward to it.
I'm happy to be here today.
So am I. Like, it's like it's kind of extended my my vacation a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not only the cigar; it's just seeing everybody
company,
together,
yeah.
seeing you guys, and
Yeah.
It's
I
fun.
will say there's something about Senator's patio that reminds me of Greece.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if that was intentional
It's
on
the
your
white-
on your part.
The white ceiling
No, but
and the
I'll
white
take that as a
columns.
compliment. I love that.
There's something about it. I mean, some of the places I was staying were a lot more modern, so it kind of fits the vibe of your patio.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
to your point on my patio, though, and even this conversation, like for me, there are always places around the world when I travel that you just feel so at peace having a cigar. And
Yes, that's exactly what I'm describing, Senator.
And I wanted that at home. It's like I travel for work. Like I just wanted a place that feels like I'm on vacation when I'm out there. And credit to my contractor, he definitely helped me achieve that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice to have a spot at home, outdoors, that's kind of enclosed but open on like one or two sides, so it can like vent out. It's special because even if you're without any company by yourself, you really enjoy that.
Of course.
And I hope, Bam, since you're doing a lot of construction in your house,
Not yet.
you're
but-
gonna have when you do, are you gonna do
For
you
your
plan to-
500th birthday.
Yeah, I know. At this point.
before I die?
Jeez. Another 500 a year.
We hope.
Yeah, correct. I'm hoping to have 3 distinct areas to sit and smoke when I'm done.
Oh, nice.
What are they going to look like? What are they?
Well, the front porch,
Okay.
the back deck, and then some of you have been to the side area. That's going to get revamped with a roof over it, ceiling fan, and a big TV on the building. So that'll be cool.
On the building.
Yeah, on the house.
So not one but 3 smoking areas.
Well, because I'll have 2 decks now, front, rear,
Nice.
and then that sitting area.
I don't have a front porch. I wish I did. I miss having a front porch.
And
I'm not a huge front porch
I'm not
guy.
a big. We have one. My wife loves to sit out there, and I think she's crazy.
For me, it's just the privacy factor is what I don't like about it.
There's
yeah.
a lot of looking.
It's like you're like a spectacle for the neighborhood. Like
Maybe.
everybody's like, oh, they're smoking a cigar. They're
I
doing
like
this.
that.
Maybe.
I like that.
I kind of like that.
Like put a couch in the refrigerator kind of thing.
I went through hell to get that porch approved. So I'm smoking.
I mean,
on
they
it.
look nice. I will say that.
Oh yeah, you
I
went for a
just
variance and all that,
Don't know.
right?
I'd use it often.
4 of them.
So, Senator, aside from your patio, where in the world?
Yeah, so for me, St. John in the U.S. Virgin Islands, I was trying to find an old photo I found it 2014 when I spent my birthday there. There's just this incredible view from this villa I would normally stay at, and it's this kind of patio, terrace, whatever you want to call it. Like it's covered if it were to rain, kind of like under my deck, that area. And then on a clear day, when you look out, I mean, you can see like little St. Croix, the island out there. Just you have this slice of the world to yourself. Like you can't see anything else but lush greenery.
And
There's
ocean.
very few other villas there. It's just endless ocean. So for me, like those are my I when I'm there, I get up so early in the morning. I want to see the sunrise. I'm out there with a cigar. Like there's nowhere I'm more at peace. And the Maldives is a similar thing. Like you have an overwater bungalow. I mean, you're just looking at endless Indian Ocean. There is nothing else in sight. It's so serene. And like, that's for me, like my happy place.
Yeah. Cool.
That's incredible. How long does it take to get to the Maldives?
24 hours.
Wow, that's a hike.
I had to fly through Qatar.
That's crazy.
St. John is much closer.
That cigar,
Yeah.
3.5 hours.
I would say so.
Don't fly
no
coach.
wonder the cigar's relaxing.
But you know what's funny? Like where I was describing where I was this past week, like that's what I have. It's like where the pool is, where I smoke. It's surrounded by trees. I can't hear a human being, see a human being. Like I have to get in the car
I like that.
and drive to the next human being if I want to.
Nice.
I mean, it's just heaven. And I smoked so many cigars.
That's awesome.
It was just
You don't
awesome.
send photos, but
That's also true.
Well, there's
You
no
sent- you
cell
sent
service
one.
out there.
There was
I did
one
send some
photo.
service.
You sent
Or
one.
I
you
did
sent
send
one
some
cigar
photos.
photo.
No, I mean the one with the wife.
Oh, I sent that to you directly.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, by the way. Yeah, Rooster, you're special.
I didn't send him anything, Bam.
All right. I don't believe
Just kidding.
it.
He's like jealous.
Yeah, I promise not to share that.
Thank
guys,
you.
don't
Thank you.
worry.
Please don't. All right, boys, let's go now to some listener email. We have a lot of stuff to get to. We've been talking a lot over the last couple weeks, hearing a lot of voice memos. We have a lot of emails to get to, so we're going to do a lot of emails tonight. We're going to start here with our friend Lizard Luigi, who says, "Hey, Lizards, listening to the short smoke special you guys just put out, and I can't help but partly disagree with your point on the decline of Davidoff. Their search for a blender isn't the problem. The blends are the blends. These blends have been tinkered with and perfected for years. At what point do we question the raw material? I'm not saying the tobacco is lesser quality, but are we really to believe that all these brands that we know and love, La Galera, Aladino, list goes on, can find blenders no problem, but Davidoff can't? I don't believe that. I truly think the situation is a maturation of the consumer. Consumers want different things, and this seems like a clear-cut case of an old dog not being able to learn new tricks. I think Davidoff needs to grow with the times. Thanks, Lizard Luigi." So it's funny. I agree with someone what he
Partially.
said, and I disagree with some of
I
what he
think
said.
that very last comment where that Davidoff needs to grow with the times is pretty accurate.
Yeah, but the proof is in the product.
Yeah, and he's questioning the raw material. There has to be someone overseeing the blends and who's actually performing the blending.
The recipe,
question.
the recipe of the blend is the recipe,
Understood.
but it changes every year, and you have to tweak the blend to the original blend.
And who buys the raw material typically? I would think the blender.
The blender, tobacco buyers,
And
yeah.
he's testing, or she's testing and making sure that product is where it needs to be.
I mean, we all smoke a lot of Davidoffs. You smoke a lot of Millenniums.
Yeah.
The Millenniums that I have smoked lately
I haven't had
in
any.
multiple different
So
sizes,
that's, yeah.
they have all been a bit off.
Really?
the new cigar that we did, the Puro Dominicano.
Yeah.
I mean,
Puro Dominicano.
that was way off. That
very
does not
average.
perform.
Very
Yeah,
average.
yeah. That was off. The Chef's Edition was
Chef's
off.
edition.
Yeah, I think that's the operative point, right? It's not as simple as the recipe is the recipe. If that were the case, a blender wouldn't be all that important. The first blender would come up with a bunch of great blends,
And
and
you're
then they
set.
would just replicate it forever. But because it's a natural product that is subject to the growing conditions every single season, that blender every year has got to tinker and figure out
That's right.
more of this, less of that. And Davidoff used to be the epitome of consistency, like Padron. Every time you picked up a Millennium, you knew the flavor profile you were going to get, you knew it was going to be well constructed, and you were paying for that experience. And now the fact that so many people, we've had listeners write in, we ourselves have experienced it, aren't getting consistency out of the blends we've been smoking for God knows how long.
Yep.
Clearly, the blender is not doing a good job of adjusting the blend season to season to match what it is intended to be.
Right.
Listen, it's the same thing in the kitchen. You could give the same recipe to 4 different people. You're going to get 4 separate results.
Mhm.
Right.
That's an interesting comment.
And if
and
the
that-
raw material differs
Yeah,
from
I
where
was
you're
gonna
sourced,
say,
it's going to
no-
affect you too.
There's a few things that are going to influence that, their skill level, but also the ingredients they're working with.
So you, as Senator said, you've got to
Yeah.
learn to tweak
You could have
and adjust.
5 jalapenos each, but this guy's jalapenos might be a little bit spicier, and there's nothing you could do about that other than taste it and make the necessary adjustments needed to get the desired result,
Yeah, I just
which goes back to the blender.
on the raw material piece, I mean, there's no question that that plays some role, but we're talking about Davidoff. We're not talking about some little small operation. Like,
Yeah.
they've got access to unquestionably some of the best tobacco in the Dominican Republic. I mean, look at some of the cigars that they've put out historically, some of which we have absolutely loved. That's special tobacco that they've been able to grow and cultivate to put into those blends. So I don't think suddenly Davidoff has lost access to great tobacco.
But selecting
Correct.
the right tobacco,
That's the thing.
and the buying of the correct tobacco.
But I also think that I don't think that there is a problem with raw material, because tobacco it's very, for a company like Davidoff, it's very easy to get great tobacco. I mean,
Yeah.
they spend a lot of money, they make a lot of cigars. There's no shortage of tobacco available.
But
to
that's not the
Davidoff.
question.
But he's commenting on the raw material.
Yeah,
right?
but it's the art in selecting the right raw products and materials. That's where they're falling short.
And blending it, that's what I think the problem
And
is.
making
is
adjustments.
You have to iterate each and every year. When new crop comes in, you have to re-blend the recipe. You have to try to match what it was the year before that, or the year before that even, and try to come up with a consistent experience on a cigar.
Yeah.
It's all about the palate of that person doing it.
And that is the job of the blender.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And again, I just can't believe it. And we said this, a couple weeks ago. I can't believe that they can't find that person. It's crazy.
And in stark contrast, Eiroa has got the golden touch, because this is getting better and better and better. I'm now right now getting a little kind of like a salted pretzel, yellow cake kind of a thing happening. It's crazy.
Cake batter, yeah.
Right? And a little salted pretzel. It's unbelievable.
Damn, man, I thought you just had like high protein ramen and
What are we
steak.
doing here? This
You
is
eat yellow
fantastic.
cake?
I love yellow cake.
This cigar is very good.
It's excellent.
I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
I will say it's burning faster than I'd like.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weird thing is the one that I had prior to this did not burn this fast.
Yeah. It's good.
Gizmo's Tower.
I can't stop tasting yellow cake. This is crazy.
It's a suggestion.
So shout out to Lizard Luigi for that email. I'd love to hear what more listeners think about our commentary on Davidoff. I know we read a lot of comments from FOH on the thread there, but what are you thinking about Davidoff right now? What are your experiences? Are you even reaching for Davidoff? I know my reaching for Davidoff is certainly down from what it was. I mean,
I'm smoking Davidoffs, but older stuff.
Honestly, I only like the Bellicoso and the Grand Cru right now, and the old Millennium Pyramid. And I only have a few of those left now. That's it.
I love the old 702 series.
And I have those.
The Dominicanos.
Those are delicious too. Yes, that's correct.
The old Millenniums are good.
Yeah.
all right, boys, let's move on now to another email. This one is from Lizard Patrick. He says, "Hey fellas, I'm a brand new listener. I just found out about you guys at
Welcome.
PCA this year.
Welcome.
Oh, cool.
I'm in Slidell, Louisiana. which is right outside New Orleans. And I wanted to see if it was possible if I could send you guys some things. If so, please send me a mailing list. I think you're going to like it, Bam.
Dry fruit platter?
That's from Chef Patrick.
Oh.
So I'm looking forward to seeing
Holy cow.
what Chef Patrick sends along. So
Very,
shout
very
out to
cool.
him. Please send that stuff. I would love to
Oh, yeah.
love to see what's coming.
No gator nuggets.
All right, here's one from our friend Lizard Tyler in Pittsburgh. He says, "Great job, guys," and he puts sarcastic. "I recently visited Small Batch Cigar immediately after listening to your review of the Mirapfel, only to find out that it was already sold out. Since I prefer to stick to a few trusted online vendors, I am hesitant to purchase from unfamiliar sites. Seems many of the cigars you review sell out before I can secure them on Small Batch Cigar, a testament to the influence of your reviews. Given that this is a limited edition release, I assume I missed my chance to experience it, but I truly appreciated the joy you shared during the review." So I'll just stop right there. I don't think it's a limited edition cigar. I think that's a regular production cigar from Mirapfel. I just think that they're limited in their availability. So kind of like the Padron 60th, which is not easy to find anywhere right now. I think it's like one of those. Just keep your eyes out. I think those cigars will be back. The La Estancia 52 that we did. On another note, I wanted to address the topic of cigar lounge attire and etiquette.
Oh,
Bam.
thank you.
I believe the decline in dress standards has become a significant issue.
Correct.
I frequently see younger men dressed inappropriately while their female companions are dressed quite elegantly. It is disappointing to see such a lack of effort regarding public presentation in these spaces.
Let me understand something. So a fella is bringing his gal to a cigar lounge, and the ladies are dressing like ladies, right? And the boys are dressing like little boys. Is that what you're saying?
That is what Lizard
Okay.
Tyler in
Okay.
Pittsburgh is saying.
Yeah, I will not frequent that club ever.
So you don't like this dynamic.
I do not like the dynamic.
Okay.
Is he wearing flip-flops?
Well, Lizard Tyler is saying he doesn't like what's happening.
Oh, he doesn't. Okay.
He's
good.
so he's with you.
So
on
he's
this.
observing.
Yes.
Okay, all the faux pas.
Have you considered doing any episodes where your pairing is not spirit related? I know I often pair my cigars with coffee or simply water even, and I only consume alcohol on occasion. It would be interesting to hear how a cigar pairs with a Dr. Pepper or an espresso, especially for those cigars that can be designated as a morning smoke. As always, I love this podcast, and I look forward to it every week. I'm still letting my Bon Roberts Dahlias rest, but I will probably crack one at the 45-day mark. Thanks, Lizard Tyler in Pittsburgh.
Early on in my journey, I paired a lot of cigars with soda. Dr. Pepper was one of my favorite ones to do it with.
You know, it's amazing to me how many guys I see online
And in this club,
Cream soda was the
At
other
one
one.
time.
loving Dr. Pepper with cigars. I'm not a Dr. Pepper guy. I never have been.
Cream soda was the other one. For
Cream
me.
soda's
Yeah.
pretty popular. Dr. Pepper, I've seen people do root beer.
I mean,
Obviously-
I've done Diet Coke in the past.
Really?
really,
I'm not a soda guy with
I haven't ever done
cigars.
that.
What is it about soda that works?
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess the sugar component from a regular Dr. Pepper or Coca-Cola or the
Yeah,
cream soda
I just think
kind
like
of balances out the nicotine thing.
Yeah, it's not just sugar. I mean, there's, I mean, maybe it's chemically derived or whatever, but there's still, spice elements and things like that that play a part in those flavors. And if you don't want to go the commercial route, you could go with a more natural soda and get a similar result. But yeah, we try to stick with things that are easy to get.
Yeah, I just think like we're often pairing something with some sweetness with a cigar, whether it's bourbon, cognac, rum, tequila, you name it. So I feel like, the times that you don't want to drink alcohol, coffee obviously is an amazing pairing, and you can put sugar in coffee.
Oh yeah.
But sometimes if you, want something like more refreshing than coffee, like you might want something carbonated, and like sparkling water, doesn't have sweetness, doesn't have much flavor really at all. So like, I think those are the moments in the past that like I've, had a Diet Coke or something with a cigar. So I see why I think there is sometimes utility in it, but is it something that I would do often? Definitely not. But I get why some do.
I also think soda pop, soft drinks, whatnot, they're just easier gateway beverages for people that might just be getting into the hobby and aren't big drinkers,
Or don't drink at all.
or don't have the budget to drop 50, 60, 100 plus bucks on a spirit to sip with their cigar.
So
It's accessible.
I can't criticize someone for having a soft drink.
I can't either.
No.
I'm as long as they're enjoying a cigar and they're happy, I'm good with it.
One thing that bothers me, and it's for their sake, is when someone brings in 3, 4, or 5 cans of whatever they're drinking. I'm just worried about the guy's health. I mean, that's just not healthy.
I mean, there's a guy in the lounge here when he comes in, watches a bunch of sports. He drinks an entire 2 liter of full sugar Pepsi.
Oh yeah,
full sugar Pepsi.
Yep.
And smoke cigars with it. I mean, a whole afternoon
just
of full
like a
sugar
friendly
Pepsi.
concern for health.
I'm
That's
with you
all
on
it
that.
is. But I can't.
Diabetes is real.
What's it?
Diabetes.
Diabetes. You got to watch out for that diabetes.
Wilford Brimley, right?
You could die from it.
That's correct, old boy.
You could die from the diabetes.
So let me ask you guys this. So Lizard Tyler, we have other listeners who are kind of in this camp, folks who don't drink or folks that aren't interested in the liquor pairings that we do. Of course, there's a whole segment of our audience who doesn't even smoke cigars and just is interested in the reviews of the liquor and just likes the camaraderie and what we talk about. What do you guys think about doing coffee, for example, or bringing something in like that? Like, my question is like the logistics of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do we make it happen?
Yeah.
Coffee for me is tough because I'm caffeine sensitive, right? And a lot of my
I think,
cigars,
Senator, you are too, right?
I don't drink caffeine.
most of my cigars are smoked after 7 o'clock at night, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to drink a coffee, and it the cigar as it is going to keep you up a little bit longer because it's going to wire you a bit, and then to add caffeine on top of that, I'm not trying to do that.
Tough timing.
Yeah, I just think like, the person mentioned soda and things that are carbonated. Like, we've done several non-alcoholic beers, and even as someone who, does consume alcohol, many times will, crack a non-alcoholic athletic.
So do I, Senator.
Exactly.
So
I would point the
shameless
listener to those
product
reviews.
plug is that Athleta that you guys drink.
Athletic is great.
I haven't had enough of that.
It's excellent.
I know. No,
Yeah,
very little that I've had
is
has been excellent.
Permanently stocked in my
Me
outdoor
too.
fridge. Like, I mean, I have it, of course, like Rooster or some of the guys that don't drink, but I drink plenty of them myself
Yeah.
when I just don't want alcohol.
I can't get enough of it.
True. I love their IPA.
You could tell
I
it's
do
a
too.
great product.
Yeah, fantastic.
The
When
orange-
people who
orange
drink
is
alcohol
awesome.
are drinking it.
I prefer the blue one, the
Me too.
Wave Runner
The
IPA.
Wave
Wave
It's
Runner
called.
IPA.
both.
That's
the
good
one.
too.
Something that might be fun, especially if you're concerned about your health and you don't want to dive into a full sugar soda. Just making your own syrups, having fun with that and trying to put together a syrup that pairs well. Introducing some spices or different sugars into that syrup.
So making
And
your
then-
own carbonated beverage.
Yeah, making your own sort of soda bases. So you have your flavored syrup.
So you
and
get like
then
the soda
you just-
siphon, and
then you
do
just
the
add
syrups.
seltzer water to it, right? And it's
I would
like-
love to watch Bam do this.
I'm not doing that. I'm
I would love to watch
I'd
him
love
make
to
a
watch
soda
Bam
base.
shop for the ingredients to do it.
I'm not doing that either. But that does sound pretty cool. I will say.
Is that a thing? Do people do that? Like,
Well,
I'm
wasn't there a
sure.
product like the Soda Stream?
That's
Soda
Yeah.
Stream,
You
yeah.
could, like, make your
Yeah.
own soda?
Well, I mean, that's a glorified, like, you put the liquid in and then you fill it with water and then it carbonates it
Carbonates
for
it,
you.
yeah.
It kind of is it's a CO tank, like
Yep.
CO2 tank,
Yep.
not CO2 tank that carbonates the water for you.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you just add a syrup to that and, don't overfill it because obviously that syrup's going to create a little extra foam when I have a Soda Stream. But, I think it could be a fun little exercise. And if you don't drink, and usually people that don't drink, they have a little bit of, they take a little bit of extra care in doing those things. So,
All right, boys, we've come to the end of the second third now on the Aladino 250th. And this bourbon, the Bulleit Bourbon Frontier Whiskey, 10 years aged, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. What's everybody thinking?
A delicious pairing overall.
I'm loving it.
I think they're both excellent in and of themselves, but together they're just delicious, man. And I think the cigar just gets better and better and better.
I agree with you, Bam. And
Yeah.
I love taking a nose in all
Right?
the bourbon just before I draw of the cigar.
It is unique in the rest of the Aladino catalog. It
It's definitely different, man.
It smokes. Yeah, there is.
Which then calls back to the undisclosed thing. Like,
something's happening here.
What's going on here that is different?
And they're doing something right. I just wish they would tell us what it is.
There's got to be something not from Honduras.
Has to be, right?
It's kind of hard to put your finger on it because there's that DNA that's in it. That's Aladino, but it's almost right now. It's almost chocolatey a little bit for me right now. Just a touch of it, and I'm really loving this cigar.
The sweet note has come back.
It's
towards the end.
I think it's box worthy right now, and it's been for a while.
Yeah.
And at $15 too for the Toro, I mean, it's a great value
price.
for the experience we're having tonight. Especially, how many times have we talked about limited edition cigars that are like $30, $40, $50? We have a $15 limited edition cigar in our hands. I love that kind of pricing.
Yeah,
because it's accessible to every single cigar smoker.
Yeah,
like this smokes like a special cigar, but it's not priced like one, which I think is a real home run.
Agree.
All right, boys, let's go to another listener email now. This one is from our friend Lizard Yorkshire. He says, "Hello, Lounge Lizards. Lizard Yorkshire here. Great episode as always. Thoroughly enjoyed it from start to finish. Gizmo, I have to salute you for managing to recover the passport situation and still make the European trip happen. That's seriously impressive. I actually wanted to ask a bit more about how you enjoyed Poland, as it's a country very close to my heart. Did you get the chance to try any traditional Polish food or drinks? And most importantly, would you visit again? I really hope so. There are some fantastic LCDHs in Poland that are definitely worth visiting, especially in Krakow and Warsaw." So to answer that, I loved Poland. I would love to go back. We were there for a very short time. We piggybacked it on a trip to visit my stepdaughter in Florence, Italy. I really enjoyed Poland. We drove from Krakow to Warsaw, so I saw quite a bit of it in the car, but we didn't have a lot of Polish experience. So I'm definitely wanting to go back, and the wife too.
Did you eat there?
We did, but you know what? I ate in like a great restaurant attached to a hotel, and it was very American. It wasn't like a traditional type of Polish restaurant. Like I had a steak, she had fish. It was not that different than what you'd get here.
No kielbasa?
No kielbasa.
Pierogies?
No.
I do love a pierogi, man. I grew up, by the way, every Christmas Eve growing up as a child. My grandmother used to make dozens and dozens and dozens of pierogies. Potato pierogies, cheese pierogies, fig, all these different pierogies.
So, Senator, he could have gone with a pierogi, but instead he chose pig in a blanket.
Pigs in a blanket. I mean, Jesus.
You didn't have pig in a blanket.
Jesus.
No, you didn't.
He chose that for his Thanksgiving appetizer when we could
just
craft
said Christmas Eve.
That's true, but not in Krakow.
Not.
That's what we're talking about. Krakow.
I did not have pigs in a blanket in Krakow. Thanksgiving,
only because he couldn't find it.
And Super Bowl, I love pigs in a blanket. Christmas Eve, I do love pierogies.
All right.
I do love Polish food, but so to answer your question here, Yorkshire, I can't wait to go back to Poland. I really, really enjoyed it. I also did not have an opportunity. I didn't find a single Cuban cigar in my entire experience in Europe. Now, I was in Rome. I was in Florence. I didn't do a ton of looking, but where I was, there wasn't a ton. In Florence, I don't think there's really any opportunity to smoke.
There's actually a very good Polish deli right by you.
I know.
In your town.
I know there is.
Really?
Don't name it, but I know it. I know exactly what it is. I've been there.
Actually, there's one in my town too.
There you go.
I have a question for all of you.
Yeah.
When you're traveling around the world, I know what I do. To find the closest cigar establishment, how do you find that? What are your ways of looking for that?
Google.com.
Google.
Oh, I Google before I leave everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So where I am,
so do I.
I'll bring up Apple Maps and I'll put in cigars or cigar lounge. And for me, it's the easiest way to map myself to the nearest cigar spot. I think it's the fastest way to get to anywhere you want to go, honestly. Wherever you are, if I want a bagel, I'm putting in bagel and it just tells me where my nearest bagel shop is.
I only go on vacations if there's an LCDH. Otherwise, I don't go.
I'm not surprised.
No, I agree with you, though.
Anyway.
I think we all do the same thing. I
Yeah.
mean, before my trip, I had it all mapped out to the best of my ability.
Okay.
Of course, you had game time decisions and you kind of go off that.
And you have
but-
family with you too.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
But, you do your best.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue on. Back to Bam's fashion discussion.
Mm-hmm.
He says, the fashion discussion had me laughing, although I can't say I fully agree with all of Bam Bam's fashion no-no rules.
Really?
I'll absolutely give him the flip-flop points, though.
There you go.
Those belong in the garden, at the beach, or by the swimming pool. Definitely not out in public as proper footwear. Although, having said that, I do wonder where that rule changes depending on where you live. If you're in a tropical country where it's 35 degrees Celsius every day, half of life happens outdoors, maybe flip-flops become more socially acceptable everyday footwear rather than just, quote, poolside equipment.
Yeah.
Context and geography probably matter more than we'd like to admit.
That's true.
Now, let's discuss shorts.
But in the tri-state area of the United States, that's a no-no.
Let's discuss shorts. I do agree on the length, he said. Knee height or just above is the sweet spot. I'm not really a fan of ultra short shorts, Bam.
No chubbies.
No chubbies.
I hope not.
No Larry Bird shorts.
Especially when men wear them, although I'll admit I'm a bit more tolerant when ladies wear them.
Of
he
course.
says. Cut from the same cloth here, Bam. That said, I suppose geography and climate probably play a role here as well. If you live somewhere tropical where it's constantly hot and humid, perhaps shorter shorts become less of a fashion statement and more of a survival strategy. The jeans discussion felt quite strict, though, Bam. As someone with fairly muscular thighs, finding the perfect pair of jeans is incredibly difficult.
Oh, are you doing a lot of squats, my friend?
The last pair I tried to have tailored turned into a complete disaster, so I've almost given up on chasing the perfect fit. I completely agree with you on polo shirts, though. I love a good polo. That's mostly what I wear these days after wearing proper smart shirts daily for work. You eventually get a little tired of them, but on weekends, a t-shirt works perfectly.
It does.
I honestly can't imagine
Just
not wearing a
graphic
t-shirt
tee.
on a warm, sunny day when I do
Correct.
the shop run. I also appreciate when people wear brave or funny t-shirts. You disagree on that.
I totally disagree.
A bit of self-distance and humor never hurt anybody. There's also something quite underrated about a well-worn, comfortable t-shirt, Bam, that just fits the moment rather than trying too hard. That's my move.
So 3 of us have very nice, elegant adult t-shirts on. And they're nicely fitted.
Well, 2 of us. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
No, he looks good. It's a solid
I
t-shirt.
wear the same thing every day, man.
No logo, no graphic tee. We look great. And we all have pants on and proper sneakers and shoes.
Well,
And Chef's got a short sleeve shirt on, but it's got a collar.
He's
Fantastic.
got a polo on.
Yeah.
And
shorts.
shorts above my knees.
I can't tell because they're like you're pulled up to your crotch right now. But
Lizard Yorkshire says it's probably the one piece of clothing where effortlessness actually wins. He's talking about t-shirts. Also, in the country I'm originally from, there's an unwritten rule regarding jackets at parties. Before midnight, the jacket stays on.
correct.
After midnight, the jacket comes off.
I don't agree with that.
and the real party begins.
I categorically disagree with that. Someone when I was young told me a gentleman never ever removes his jacket at a formal event. That's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's crazy. Here's an example. So I was at a wedding a couple of weeks ago. My son was there with us and his cousin was there. 2 strapping boys. They take off their jackets at 9:30 at night. So I walk up to my son, ask him, how you doing? He says, good. What do you got there? What's going on with the jacket? And he says, well, I feel hot. And I leaned into him and I said, and I made sure his cousin heard, a gentleman never removes his jacket at a formal event. So they put it right back on and they looked fantastic.
And they sweat right through it.
That's fine. I was sweating too, but I kept my jacket on.
That's why you never take the jacket.
And
off,
I
so
s-
no one sees
I
the
mean,
sweat
Bam,
stain.
Yes.
Bam's not wrong, but if there is a time post midnight, you can take it off.
Post-midnight.
I,
Nice,
mean,
fair.
I have yet to, I don't know. I do sweat like a wildebeest. I will admit that. But I keep the jacket on.
I think anybody who's there past midnight won't remember the next day. Anyway.
That's true. That's true. You know what? I think that postman senator. I like that.
Yeah, and if you have a nice shirt, like
if you have a nice
if.
shirt,
but like if you're at a very formal thing, even if you're in a tux, like I have a nice tux shirt, like
Yeah.
monogrammed, all that,
And it's
you can
fitted.
still see it's very fitted.
there you go. I see guys when they take their jackets off, it's like a carnival tent. That is no good. You got to put the jacket back on.
Hey,
Carnival tent.
I have
you
cigar.
gotta-
I have cigar cufflinks now.
or the shirt comes
I
out of
heard-
the pants.
Oh, that's the worst. It's like I look at Mrs. Bam and I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, why?
It's an untucked tuxedo shirt.
Tough rules for tough men. But now we need to talk about Crocs because I absolutely love them, he says. They are honestly some of the most comfortable footwear I own, and I wear them in the garden regularly.
All right, garden's great.
I've reached the age where I simply do not care anymore what people think or whether they judge me for wearing them.
How old is this guy?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
I
resisted them for years.
Hold on. I bet I'm older than he is.
I would think so.
Correct.
I resisted them for years
That's not
before
hard.
finally, before giving in.
That's not nuts.
And my goodness, it genuinely changed my life for the better. Any house renovation work, gardening, or a DIY project, and the Crocs come out.
I
and
think
I
that's
wear them
okay.
proudly.
That's cool.
That's
That's
okay.
Yeah, you're wearing them at home. Who
But
cares?
not
but
at
not
the
in a cigar
lounge.
lounge.
No,
Yeah.
never.
Correct. I also have a very successful friend who has achieved ultimate financial freedom, and he wears exactly what he likes: t-shirts, sweatpants, flip-flops, and he genuinely does not care what anyone thinks anymore.
Mm-hmm.
As he always says, the quote, "The most powerful man in the room wears exactly what he wants because his influence transcends dress codes, Bam.
Okay.
He doesn't need a suit to validate his status,"
Yeah,
end
but
quote.
I'm sorry, that whole premise is wrong.
I agree.
Like, there are some people that wear things because they're concerned about what others will think or say.
Correct.
But for most self-respecting people, they're doing that because they feel good wearing that and because it's important to them to show up a certain way and
It's-
respect the venue that they're in.
but it's also respectful to others to see you properly dressed.
right.
Yeah.
That's like saying like Jeff Bezos like has, even Elon Musk has more money than anyone in this world. And Elon Musk, like when he's at a White House freaking, gala dinner, like he's in a tuxedo.
Yeah.
He could wear whatever the hell he wants, but he's respecting the space he's in.
I like it.
And he shows up as he should. So to me, it's not a factor of like how much money you have or, what you think you can or can't get away with. It's what you think is appropriate and how you feel and how you want to respect the space.
So
you're in.
who's the billionaire that sold Yahoo and owned Dallas at one time?
Mark
Mark
Cuban.
Cuban. He wears a suit on Shark Tank.
He does, but most of the time, that guy's in a graphic tee and jeans, and I think he looks like a clown.
But he's usually at a basketball game also.
Yeah.
right, when he
And
does that.
I've heard a lot of commentary about what his philosophy is and how he looks and dresses. He doesn't care what anyone thinks of him. And I don't agree with that, regardless of how much money you have. Sorry.
I think just having respect for yourself, respect for the event, and respect for the people around you is what it comes down to.
Well said.
He continues on, "To be fair, the older I get, the more I understand that mindset, confidence, comfort, and authenticity probably matter more than following every fashion rule perfectly. There's definitely a difference between looking completely sloppy and simply dressing in a way that makes you comfortable and happy. Also, I really enjoyed the discussion around the Davidoff Puro Dominicano. I'm very curious to try it myself, especially after hearing the mixed thoughts on whether this is Davidoff finally getting some of its magic back. Thanks again for another brilliant episode and for all the laughs. Long live Lizard Nation, Lizard Yorkshire."
Good email.
Great email from him. So we're going to continue on this theme with Bam's thoughts on life. We have a voice memo now from our friend Lizard Enrique
Must we do this?
with the subject line, "Bam explains it all."
Hello, lizards. Lizard Nation has been captivated by Bam's hot takes on things like lounge etiquette and fashion. I'm hoping he can give us just a little more wisdom to help adult males live their life at their best. Bam, what is your hot take on Cybertrucks? What do you think about athleisure at the lounge? What about suspenders? What do you think about dress sneakers? Should men go sockless when wearing loafers? And what do you think about personalized license plates? Bam, I come to you because you are the Andy Rooney of our time and about the same age. Thank you so much, guys. Cheers.
I don't think Andy Rooney is aging this well, my boy.
That's true.
I like the idea of the wise man's corner. And
Yes.
that's kind of Bam's segment.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
I don't know about that. But
All right, so let's go through the list. What do you think
Let's
of
go.
Cybertrucks?
I don't have a comment.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
no,
do.
go ahead.
I mean, they're a great toy.
Yeah,
That's really what they come down to.
that's true.
I mean, there's not a lot of utility there.
Honestly, I think
Well, there can be. I mean, it's got a bed in the back if you had to transport stuff.
I think that was a dream that Elon came up with and was just wondering how many of these are going to sell.
It's
And
been discontinued, I think, right?
No, they're still making.
Aren't they
Yeah, I think they're
discontinued?
still
Oh,
making them.
yeah,
Are
no, Yeah, they're still.
Yeah.
Just
So
a Model
that
S.
and personalized license plates, I don't really have a comment.
What do you think about dress sneakers?
I do on personalized license.
Okay, go ahead.
plates.
Oh, you do.
I think they're ridiculous.
Vanity license. I agree.
I agree.
I think it's
Like I'm not gonna lie. Like if someone rolled up in this lounge with a personalized license plate, I immediately am judging them as like probably not someone I'm gonna hang out
I
with.
gotta send back my Bam plates. Shit. Spent a lot of money on those.
What do you think about dress sneakers?
I love those.
Yep.
Without socks.
And you do no socks with those.
Yes.
I think the no socks thing is weird. I can't do that.
I agree.
And no sock loafers. I mean, and no sock. I've got deck shoes on today. No sock. I mean, that's the only way to
I
go.
agree with no socks with anything that like slips on, basically.
Yeah.
But like a loafer. But for anything that's a sneaker, even if we're gonna say a dress sneaker, I think you need like a low cut sock.
Of course, which is why I try to wear a sock with every low cut sneaker. But when it's this hot out, I don't have any socks with this.
But that's a slip on. I don't
I
think
know.
you need socks with anything. I would wear driving loafers without socks, anything
Same.
like you have on
Same.
or I have on right now. But I'm just saying anything with laces, like a
Should
sneaker, even a
have a
dress
sock.
sneaker, I think you need a low cut sock.
That's right. Which is why I haven't worn my dress sneakers in a long time because it's been so hot. I can't wear socks.
I think with no show
for
and
me.
low cut socks, there's no reason not to wear socks.
I agree with you.
regardless of what you
No,
have.
you're not
on.
going to wear socks with
Not with
boat
that.
shoes or even driving loafers. You don't
Definitely
need them.
not.
Boat shoes, maybe not because of the fact that your feet might get wet with
Yep.
water. That makes sense. But
Or like
if you're wearing boat shoes to the lounge or driving loafers to the lounge or whatnot, there's no show socks that look like you have no socks, but there's some absorption if your feet sweat. My feet sweat.
Okay.
You know, I just
Okay. Personal
I
choice.
got sweaty feet.
Well,
I regret all of this.
The more we know.
All right, Bam, one more. What about suspenders?
Hell no.
yeah.
Hey, he's a handkerchief
I have
guy.
one good case.
He's a
for
handkerchief
suspenders.
guy.
I don't have a comment. I haven't ever worn suspenders. I know some people that do. They do. It depends on the guy. Some guys really wear them really well, and some can't wear them well.
So I have strong thoughts on suspenders.
I think if you have big bellies, you shouldn't.
I agree. Yes, if you have
Yes.
a big belly, you should not wear suspenders.
Correct.
Chef is 100% right on that.
That's correct.
Number two, I don't think like suspenders daily with a suit in this day and age make any sense. I get, older guys, that used to be a thing. I think that has aged out. But the one and only time that I do wear suspenders, so when I wear a tux and I've got a custom fit tux, I'll wear, it's like white mother of pearl cufflinks and studs, and I actually have these white suspenders that
That's
complete the whole thing. Like
That's
every
cool.
time I've worn it, I always get compliments on it.
So
That's the only
I
time.
have a
they
que-
are making a comeback, but you have to be slim and trim, and your clothes have to be fitted. So you're not relying on the suspenders to hold up your pants. It's really more of it's a
an
it's a
accessory.
detail.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like suspenders on bartenders at fancy bars.
If
I
they
like that
that's-
too.
if they
I
meet all
like
those
that look.
criteria that I just noted,
I think when it's like
100%,
part of the costume or the dress code of like a cool bar, I
that's
get
cool.
it.
That's cool.
But like a random dude wearing it, like when a plumber shows up with suspenders on, I'm
That's
like
strange.
immediately turned off.
That's correct.
He's holding his pants up.
Get a belt.
Correct.
I think we hit them all. Did we miss any from
Good,
Lizard
it's a good
Enrique?
email.
Yeah, you got
I
him.
think you got
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
All right, boys, let's keep moving on here. This one is from our friend Lizard Jared. He says, "Hey, Lizards, Lizard Jared here. I'm currently on my patio finishing up a Trinidad Espiritu, and I'm enjoying it immensely. So thanks for the great shout out on that stick. As a guy who smokes cigars rather than a true cigar smoker, my collection, if you can even call it that, tends to stay pretty small. I recently finished up a 5-pack of the Yellow Banded Aging Rooms, the Sonata, and a 5-pack of Davidoff Late Hours, and until today, I was completely out of cigars. Sounds like someone else on this podcast who's not here tonight, which made me wonder about y'all. So I have 2 questions, but to ask these questions, I need you to walk with me for a second and imagine a world where you can no longer acquire any new cigars. Sounds pretty awful, right? But in that world where you can't add anything new to your collection, how long do you think your current stockpiles would last you?
Interesting.
And additionally, what stick in your current collection would you save to smoke as your very last? I like that question. As always, thanks for the show, and I'll be here listening every Tuesday morning. Lizard Jared out.
Well, one thing I don't agree with is buying and then immediately consuming your cigars and then having to go buy again and again and again. I think it's smart to stockpile. And cigars, most of what we smoke get better over time. So I think it's just good practice to get a Tupperware if you don't have a humidor or a tower and start stacking up on your daily basics.
And just the only thing I'll say on that is it pays for itself in that. Like every dollar
prices
you
aren't
pay
going
now,
down.
it's going to be so much more in the future.
That is a huge point.
I mean, every week we talk about prices going up. I have a news story every week about something changing.
That's massive to what we're doing here, right?
But I want to qualify the point here. There are some folks out there for financial reasons who can't do that.
That's true.
And also from space reasons. Maybe they live in a small studio apartment. They can't have a bunch of Tupperwares sitting around. They have one, humidor, Tupperware, so we have to consider that fact that logistics or financial reasons, what you guys are saying that I agree with,
but
might not be possible.
Here's where even for that person, it is possible just on a smaller scale. So for that person, let's say that has a 50 count desktop humidor, and they're sitting there saying like, well, I don't want to spend money on another 50 count desktop humidor, so I'm just going to store 50, smoke, and keep replenishing. They can get a small, like countertop Tupperware that holds 50 or 100 cigars that costs a fraction of what a humidor costs. We're talking like $10, and they can put them in there with a Boveda. So I think anyone can be doing this. It's just a question of scale, really, based on how much space and resources you have.
The only question is financial. So if you can't afford it, that's understandable. But I agree with what Senator just said.
Listen, there's a lot of deals out there between the codes that we offer. Fabrica 5 are great price cigars.
Yeah.
Small batch, the code is amazing.
Sure.
You can find 5-pack, 10-pack deals of great cigars out there at ridiculously low prices.
Yep.
I mean, there is a lot of possibility if you do your homework. And I think that's the qualifier, is doing your homework.
Correct.
For sure. So let me ask you guys this. What do you think right now today, based on what you have, how long will your collection last you if you could not purchase another cigar?
I think Rooster can celebrate 500 years.
I mean, he smokes one a day.
Well, if I couldn't purchase any more cigars, my consumption would probably drop dramatically.
Let's say there's no change in consumption. You can't purchase more cigars. How long is it going to last?
Let's say one a day.
I would say for me, right now, I'm severely low, so I'd say a month.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the last cigar, my birthday is coming up, so I'm sure my wife's hitting you up, Giz. I hope, anyway. Asking you for recommendations. But my last cigar that I'm just holding on to dear life for is my Padron 60th. I have one more left.
Okay.
And that would be the last one.
That'd be your last cigar.
That'd be my last.
It's a good
All right.
choice.
Senator.
I think a few years. I mean, I'm serious. I would think probably 2 or 3 years would be my guess.
That's it?
Yeah. I mean, I smoke much more than you. That's not one a day. If it was one a day, like, triple that.
For me, I think it's easily about 10 years. Because even if I smoked one a day, that's about 3,600 cigars.
Yeah.
Let's say 5, because I'll be going to your house to smoke.
5 a day?
No, 5 years.
Oh, 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, that's maybe a little low because I'm assuming like 4 cigars every day. It's not going to be every day.
If you're assuming one a day,
probably like 3 to 5 years.
Nah, 7, 8. No doubt for you.
So, I think I'm probably, if I'm smoking 2 cigars a day consistently, I'm probably between 10 and 12 years.
So jealous.
Well, if it's 2, but I'm estimating more than that.
But I'm on average. I think on average, given a week, I think if you average it out, a couple days you might smoke 4, a couple days you might smoke 1. I think averaging out 2 a day across a week, 14 to 15-ish a week, I'd probably last 10-ish
So
years.
you have about 7,000 cigars.
Probably somewhere in there, 7,000, 8,000 cigars. Maybe a little more.
And what would be the last cigar that you would hold on to?
I mean, I actually hate this question because it's crazy to think about
Hold on. If you're only doing 2 cigars a day for a year, that's only 720 cigars.
Yeah, he said 10 years.
So I said 10 years.
7,000.
At least 10 years, dude.
Yeah, I said 10 to 12 years.
And I think Senator's underestimating. I think you're closer
I don't have 7,000 cigars. There's no way. Neither do you.
Oh.
No,
his last shipment
can't
of
possibly
cigars
be
was like
estimating correctly.
500 sticks.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
between
Tower Power holds how many do you think?
3,000.
No,
if you really stuff it in.
About
No,
you can stuff it in.
2,500. Let's
No.
say.
You can
Less.
stuff it in.
No.
I would say more
two.
like 15 to
No,
2,000.
2,000.
All right, so let's
And then in Tupperware, how much does one big Tupperware hold? Maybe 500?
More than that, because I have probably, maybe 500 is the right answer.
So
but
I have
those are
two big ones. That's 3,000. And then I have a third one with other stuff. So probably 3,500 would be my guess.
So that Tupperware will hold 500 cigars?
Yeah.
That's my guess. I think so.
Yeah.
If it's like fully packed to the gills.
Yeah, so that's about 3,500 cigars for me
See, that's what I'm saying.
in the Tupperware, and the tower right now is full. Plus
So you're
another-
probably about 5,000.
Yeah, I think I'm closer to about that.
Yeah.
Number of cigars, and let's say we divide that by
How many are
think your
you
math
accounting
is-
for in the tower? That math doesn't make sense.
about 3,000.
No, I think you're at
No,
1,500.
it's
That's-
2,000, 15
Yeah.
to 200.
I think your
1,500
number,
to
I
2,000.
think you're about 5,000 cigars.
So that would be what?
Got some serious imposter syndrome right now.
Divided by 2.
You got some homework to do tonight.
Yeah. I'd say about 6-7 years.
Yeah. So I have like 6 or 7 Tupper doors full.
I have 7
and my
full.
tower doors, my tower.
And you have a double wide one.
Yeah,
so
I have
yeah.
double wide. Yeah.
And how many years are you thinking?
Remember
I'm
this
thinking
is-
10 to
This
12.
is the
10.
guy. No more Tupperware.
I
That's
know,
why he
right?
got the bigger tower.
Yeah. So I'm less than you for sure. So I would say conservatively about 7 years, I think.
All right. So let's go around the room. We know what Chef's is, Padron 60th. Last cigar that you have one remaining, you held to the very, very end. The apocalypse has been scheduled. It's coming. You know it's coming.
Oh, we
You're
know
gonna
what
smoke
Senators
one
is.
more. What is the answer? That one final cigar. What is it?
For me, it's the LGC number 2.
MDO number
Oh,
2 from
MDO
Cuba.
number 2.
Great
La
choice.
Gloria Cubana.
That's a great choice.
Hold on to that.
Senator.
I'm not going for anything fancy in that situation. It's going to be a Padron Exclusivo.
Yeah, there you
Ooh,
go.
Very nice choice.
That's a great choice.
Like I
Very
was
nice
tempted
choice.
to say a Vegas Urbana Classico, but like
Nah.
I've had so
might
many
be plugged.
more memories.
It could be plugged. Can you
God-
imagine your last cigar is plugged?
God forbid.
You're pulling out your perfect draws. The apocalypse is coming in.
I've just had so many more.
Honey, I need 10 minutes.
Water protocol.
Sorry, Senator. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I've had so many more memories with a Padron Exclusivo than any of these like rarer cigars that we've all smoked like 10, 20 of them in our lives. Like for me, in a moment like that, I want something that like brings me back to so many great moments in time that has been like a special thing for me. So it would be that or a D4. And the reason I actually didn't say the D4 is for where we just were is the risk that it's plugged. I at least know that Padron is going to draw perfectly.
Like, dude, I pulled you guys were in the lounge with me the other day. I pulled a D4, probably my first in months, and
Yeah.
I had to borrow a perfect draw from Bam.
Yeah,
Damn thing wouldn't smoke.
And you
the
put it
feet
down
looked good.
early.
And I put it down with like
you did.
2.5 inches left. Yeah.
Wow.
Unbelievable. So my final would probably be a Padron 80, I would say. Is
That's a
probably
good,
my
great
final.
choice. Great choice.
I've had a lot of great Padron 80s recently. It's become that celebratory cigar for me that I'm reaching for. Obviously, it's accessible.
Interesting. Let's unpack that for a quick second.
correct.
He did not say the Padron 50 year.
Also correct.
That's true.
Or the Magnum
The
46.
guy who said, no, they're both so good, and I think
They
I'd
are.
even maybe say that the 50 could be better. Nope. Look at that. Apocalypse, he
Listen.
picks the 80th.
You go to Costco now, you've changed.
You've changed.
I pick up the 80th.
I'm just making sure it's documented.
Okay.
I owned my
It's on the
Costco
ledger.
moment.
It's on the
as long as
ledger.
it's on the ledger.
It'll be printed.
It's on the ledger.
Correct.
All right, a great question
Wait, what
here.
about Bam?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, Bam, what's yours? Sorry.
I kind of like what Senator said. You know, a lot of cigars that we smoke, we have them at special moments in our lives. For me, the Millennium Pyramid by Davidoff.
So you're going to start and end with the Millennium Period.
Yeah,
That was your first, and
that's
it'll
what-
be your last.
Correct. And I had that when both my kids were born. I had it when my kid went to college. You know, I always go back to that because there's a lot of sentimental value for that cigar. But I'll hold on to my current batch because I know that blending is evolving. So I want to keep that. So for that apocalypse, I'll hold on to the small batch that I have.
Not
That-
the Schwa?
I love the
So
Schwa.
funny. That's the first thing I thought.
I
of.
know. I thought that came to mind as well. But I do
When
like.
Bam went on his, I have no cigars. I don't even have the Schwa Supreme.
out of those cigars.
I've just got 2,000 other cigars, but not the Schwa.
Well,
I'm sorry,
tonight,
8,500.
Yeah, I'm not updating my list. But the Millennium Pyramid by Davidoff.
Okay.
For sure.
Excellent.
I love that there's 3 Padrones on that list.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, boys, and now it's time to go to our Lizard of the Week, presented by our friends at Bond Roberts. And our Lizard of the Week this week is Lizard Wilkins.
Oh.
And Lizard Wilkins is going to win a 10-count box of cigars from our friends at Bond Roberts. And he says here, Dear Lizards, new blood here. I've been listening long enough to know you guys don't hand out praise lightly. Your reviews hit hard, and more importantly, they've held up. I've chased a few of your high scores, and every one of them delivered exactly as promised. Quick background. I used to sell cigars in Oxford when I was in college in the early 2000s. I cut my teeth behind the counter and never really stopped collecting. These days, I've drifted away from Cubans and I've leaned into New World blends, not only because of cost, but quality also, which has opened up a different kind of rabbit hole. Here's what I've been chewing on. I'm also a wine collector, Senator, and I've started to notice what feels like a similar life cycle between cigars and vintage wine, an ebb and a flow. I've pulled sticks that were once vibrant and found them muted, tight, closed off, like they're hiding something. Then months or even years later, I revisit that same box and it's back, wide open, expressive, firing on all cylinders. It feels like a living curve rather than a straight line. Peaks, valleys, and those strange in-between phases where everything goes quiet. Have you seen the same thing in your humidors, or am I romanticizing the leaf? Kind regards, the Englishman in New Jersey, Lizard Wilkins.
Cool.
Great question.
Yeah.
So do you think he's romanticizing the leaf here?
Yeah, I think it's spot on, especially with Cubans. There is peaks and valleys. You know, the cigars will peak and then they'll go down and they might peak again. It just depends on how old the stuff is. But you will probably get to a point where maybe they do start losing flavor and it's not going to come back. I'm talking like, super old stuff, like maybe pre-embargo stuff.
I mean, even forget pre-embargo. Well after that, I feel
Well
like,
after, yeah.
the great example is Giz had brought in that Lusitania from like the 90s,
Oh
and
my
they
God,
were
that was so
practically
bad, dude.
flavorless.
It was
Not
so bad.
one of us could even smoke the cigar.
It was like from 1992. It was
Yeah.
like one of the worst cigars we've had.
And that cigar's usually inconsistent anyway,
You're right.
you know?
Yeah, but never unsmokable like that.
It was bad.
That was just too much time. And that's the thing. It's the same with wine. Like everything like that will hit its peak. And that's why you have to be careful. And I think people that just hold on to these things for decades and an eternity, assuming that they're all just going to get better and better, are sorely disappointed. And I think that's why a lot of these people then move a lot of that stuff. You got to try those cigars, one a year
Mm-hmm.
after a point to make sure that it hasn't hit that peak. And we've talked about the Vegas Urbana Classico. That's a 2011 box. That's got some serious age. That cigar, I think, has hit its peak.
Yeah. I
It's
think it's
not-
on the way down.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's not as absolutely perfect and spectacular as it was when we were smoking more of it. It's now really good, but just a notch below, and it's going to continue, like we're saying, to decline.
But do you think it goes back up again?
No way. That's not how aging works.
I mean, Min Rani has these stages of maturation that
Mhm.
happen in his view. Not that I don't know if a cigar would ever reach at its 20-year mark or whatever. He kind of lays it out. What you're saying the Vegas Urbana was, 5 years ago when we really fell in love with it, or 6 years ago, right? But for some collectors out there, for some smokers out there, they like that kind of age on those cigars. Good for them. I think for most of us in this room, from what we've experienced, it's definitely past the point where those cigars are super interesting to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, to answer his question, I don't think you're romanticizing the leaf. I think what makes this thing that we have interesting is the fact that it is as dynamic as it is. I don't think people would collect wine to the level they do, smoke cigars to the level that we all do and Lizard Nation does, if it was a linear thing that you could pinpoint so precisely as, things are going to be perfect when you think they're going to be perfect. If that was the case, I think it would be a much less interesting experience versus the moments we have when we're blown away by something And then the moments where our expectations are, sorely let down by something that doesn't deliver what we hope it's going to. And I think that's kind of like, the chase, like we're chasing the dragon a little bit. When we have that cigar that blows our minds, you reach back into the same box and it sucks. That is what we do here. I think that's why people love the game of golf. I think that's why people love wine. I think that's why we love what we love, is it's a dynamic thing, and it's kind of like you're playing roulette a little bit.
Very well said.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's like anything in life. If you wait too long to enjoy something, it's not going to be as enjoyable.
Correct.
As it could have been if you enjoyed it when it was meant to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
And as we've always said and we've heard, cigars are meant to be smoked.
Yeah. Goes
Right?
back to our commentary with Danilo
Exactly
in
right.
Cuba. Yeah.
I think I agree, with your point about trying them out every
Occasionally.
year, every 6 months.
Sure.
Pull one out and see how it is.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think the flavor is diminishing, you don't know if it's ever going to come back.
Yeah.
And I think if you're holding a box for the potential of smoking it at some point in the future, maybe it's worth a lot of money today. You think it's going to be worth more then. It might be better then. I think the idea of holding cigars, especially Cuban cigars, for that purpose is counterintuitive to what we're talking about tonight. If you want to sell those cigars, fine, whatever. If you're in cigars like an investment property, fine. But if you're in cigars to smoke them, like you're saying, crack the box, try it. If it's great, smoke them. If it's not, do what you want to do with them. Sell them, give them out, throw them out, whatever. But I think, like we're saying, like, try your cigars, smoke your cigars. And I'm kind of talking to myself in a way, because there's a lot of cigars in my tower that are just sitting there right now and not being smoked, because I kind of look at them like,
Same here.
shit, I can't replace that.
Yeah.
I can't find that anymore. And I think we're all doing that,
Yeah,
right?
we
I mean, how many times have you looked at your tower? Like I looked at a box of Partagas 898s the other day from 2012. It's like, I was like, well, maybe I should reach for that. And I'm doing the calculus in my head of like what that's worth. And is tonight the night? Is now the moment? I mean, that's a reality.
Look, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You might as well, pull one out and smoke it.
It's true. It's true. So thanks again to our friend Lizard Wilkins, the Englishman here in New Jersey, our Lizard of the Week, for those great questions and a great commentary. I don't think he's romanticizing the leaf. I think that's what we do here every week. I think that's what makes this whole thing exciting, and great question from him. And now, boys, we've come to the end of our evening with the Aladino 250th and the Bulleit Bourbon Frontier Whiskey 10 years aged. What's everybody thinking about the pairing before we get into our ratings? And don't forget to send your ratings to me, please, for both.
Delicious evening.
Yeah.
Extremely satisfying.
I will say one thing. When I picked up this bourbon tonight, I was nervous that it was going to overpower this Honduran cigar. And I know Senator had smoked it, so I trusted his gut when we were talking about what to pick up. But man, I think this is a bourbon that really would pair well with a lot of the cigars that we smoke, especially Hondurans. And tonight it did great.
Yeah.
It really did not overpower.
Not at all.
Even at 45.6%.
No, and I'd go as far as saying that like this would pair great with the overwhelming majority of what we smoke. I think this can hold up to even
a Cuban.
Well, forget a Cuban. I was going to say even a Nicaraguan. I could have this with
sure.
a Padron.
On the opposite side of the spectrum, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Also great with a Cuban, though.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right, boys, it's time now to move into the formal liquor rating tonight on the Bulleit Frontier Whiskey, 10 years aged Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Bam, Bam, you're up.
So I just took a sip. I can't believe how easy drinking this is. Yet rich in flavor, fully satisfying. And actually, as I drank more and more of it, I disagree with the question of viscosity. I think it's got perfect viscosity, not too rich as far as thickness is concerned, not too light. And for the price, this is probably one of the tastiest, easy drinking bourbons I've had in a very long time. So I'm at a firm 10. I would like to pursue this bottle. I'm sure I can find it anywhere. So it's available almost at any establishment. I think it's just, we just talked about it 2 seconds ago. It would go great with an Exclusivo. It'll go great with a Schwa Supreme. It'll go great with a Millennium Pyramid. Almost any cigar would pair beautifully with this. So the versatility of it is just off the charts. So I'm at a really, really firm, enthusiastic 10.
All right, Chef.
So for me, the Bulleit bourbon, look, I came into this not a huge fan of Bulleit. I've always found Bulleit to be somewhat pedestrian. This 10-year is elevated for sure. The pairing was perfect. But my cigars, we've mentioned earlier, kind of the smoke's a bit fast, right? So I haven't had a cigar that I've been puffing on for at least 15, 20 minutes. So I've been drinking the bourbon on its own. For me, the pairing was perfect, but the bourbon on its own, some of those like roasted cherry notes to me, they come across less roasted and more sort of medicinal, cough syrupy, which we've heard in the past.
Really?
Yeah, when you have the cigar with it, the cigar for me kind of dampens that flavor, and instead it helps create a more sophisticated flavor on my palate anyway. So for all of those reasons, I'm at an 8 with this bourbon.
Wow. Interesting.
Whoa.
I'm surprised by your 8. I mean, I
Yeah.
really loved it. For me, it's a 9. I think it's an excellent bourbon. I think it pairs very, very well with most of the cigars that we smoke, like we just talked about. It wasn't perfect for me tonight. I honestly, Bam, for everything I'm saying and how I feel about it, I don't know if I'm going to run out and buy it.
Really?
Yeah, I love like the Weller. I think stands above this. There's some other bourbons that I really, really appreciate
Eagle
more
Rare,
than this.
also 10 years.
Is this as
now
easy-
granted, it is a lot more expensive.
But hold on.
I'll give it that.
Is this easier to drink than the Weller? Without ice?
No,
Okay.
I think the Weller Special Reserve is very easy to drink.
You think it's easier to drink than
I
this?
think-
I do.
I think it's
Wow.
it's hotter, but
This?
no, the Weller,
Yeah.
but the flavor that you get makes up for that, and it makes that experience worth it for me.
Hmm.
The richness and how it delivers that flavor as well.
There's a lot of bourbons that we've done on this podcast that I think I would prefer over this. However, even at 45.6% tonight, 10 years age, there wasn't a lot of barrel character on this. It didn't take on those kind of wild characteristics of sitting in those barrels for 10 years. Like
You're doing a lot
the
of reading,
bourbons.
I can see.
Zero reading, man. Just 200 and some odd weeks of practice. No, but seriously, I think it's really, really good. I love the price on this at $45. I think that is a steal for a 10 years age bourbon like this. I think if you love bourbon, this has to be one you try, and maybe you're going to fall in love with it. Maybe it'll be a 10 for you, but for me tonight, it's a 9. Senator.
Good score.
So I'm also at a 9. I thought it was an excellent pairing with the cigar. It's awesome to see Bulleit capable of producing something more refined, more elegant, richer, more flavorful than their standard fare bourbon. The only reason, I think the price point also, I will say, is great. I think 45 is more than fair for the experience. The only reason that I didn't give it the 10, I look for this in really every spirit and even a cigar. There wasn't a defining note that made it super memorable for me. Like, to me, this drank like a refined, good, standard bourbon. It had all the kind of traditional notes, but there wasn't like one note that I will forever remember this for. Like, even Buffalo Trace, there's a distinct taste about Buffalo Trace,
There
just their
is.
standard fare,
Yeah.
that grabs me and I will remember. Weller has a very distinct taste that
That's-
grabs me, that I will remember.
Very true.
I mean, hell, even Maker's Mark has a distinct taste that I will always remember. And it just doesn't have the it factor that makes this truly memorable or special for me to give it the 10. But that doesn't change the fact that I would happily drink this again. I think anyone that enjoys bourbon, would enjoy this spirit. And I think it pairs great with cigars. It doesn't overpower them. It's incredibly versatile. I would drink this in the summer, the fall, and everything in between.
Mm-hmm.
So for those reasons, I'm at a very strong 9.
Well said.
Yeah.
All right, boys, the formal liquor rating tonight on the Bulleit Frontier Whiskey 10 years age Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey is a 9.0.
Wow.
Great score.
Very good score.
Yeah.
Let's compare that to the only other Bulleit we've done, which is the original Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. We did that on episode 106, if you believe it. Scored an 8.
Okay.
So this
Yeah,
And that's
is
actually
perfect.
very fair.
10 points higher
Perfect.
than
Yeah.
the regular Bulleit bourbon. And now, boys,
I have to say, I really respect the way the composite score figures out and pencils out at the end.
Yeah.
it works.
It does
The
work.
composite, the formal liquor rating, the formal lizard rating,
Yeah.
and liquor rating,
Yeah.
they don't lie, Bam.
This is a 9 is a perfect score for this. And I just love, so I don't have a distinct note. I agree with you on that, Senator. For me, I gravitate toward things that are easy drinking and give you really a rich experience. And this checks that box for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, boys, it's time now to move into the formal lizard rating tonight on the Aladino 250th. Rooster, you're up.
So I felt like this Aladino cigar is a bit of a departure from their line. Most of the Aladino cigars, and I could be wrong, but I haven't smoked that many Aladino cigars like you guys do. They tend to be a little bit more savory forward. This cigar had a good balance of savory and sweet. It started off like creamy with a sweet note with even a little hint of white pepper, a couple of you guys mentioned. It had a little bit of a grassy hay note as well. And that citrus note was very interesting on this Honduran tobacco, that's in the cigar.
We think.
We think, yeah, we don't know.
We don't know.
But at least the note.
In your opinion.
Lizard Johnny.
Correct.
That citrus note was really pleasant. It's a nice add-on when you get that from a cigar. And the cigar, as it built on, it really got better and better as it built on. I mean, the first half of the cigar was absolutely phenomenal. There was a point in maybe like before it hit the last third, it kind of lost that sweetness and it got a little bit more maybe savory, salty maybe. And then again in the last inch, it picked up again and it got a little sweeter. That espresso note, coffee note kind of came through. Overall, it's a delicious cigar. Too bad it's a limited production and, whatever the boxes there are, but it's definitely worthy of a box purchase. So I'm at a solid 9 on this cigar.
All right, Senator.
Great blend.
So I agree with Rooster. I'm also at a 9. I think it is a fun departure from the traditional Aladino experience, and it definitely takes you on a journey. The way this starts, it's like light and bright and that citrus note, and you're kind of figuring out what this is going to become. And in the second third, then the sweetness really ramps up. And to me, you get some more of like the Aladino 85th type notes. I think that's sweeter on the spectrum, and the sweetest really being that classic Elegante and Lancero that we like. The final third and really the end of the second third, that saltiness Rooster was talking about, you start really dancing between savory and sweet, which is, I think, really enjoyable. For me, the only complaints I had, it definitely burned too fast. And I was surprised because that was not my experience with the first one. This one, I felt like I really flew through. And kind of similar to my commentary on the bourbon and what I said, I always chased. I don't know that at any one point there was a defining note that persisted that made this as memorable as it could have been. I talk about the Aladino Cameroon, like that baking spice is present all the way through. It's super memorable. That's the only reason I even lightly compared it to a D4, is just like that cinnamon note was memorable. In this, I got so many different things, all of which were enjoyable, but I'm not sure that there was something defining enough that I am in my head saying, when I want to chase X, I'm going to pull for that cigar. So that's the only thing that precluded it from that like special, perfect, coveted 10. But I think they did an excellent job with the blend. I thought the construction was outstanding. The draw was perfect. The smoke output was great. And the price point for a cigar of that size in a limited, production release, I think, is definitely commendable. So I would absolutely smoke it again. I agree with Rooster. It's worth a box purchase. And We have a very mixed bag with these like limited edition cigars, especially around a holiday or something like 4th of July America 250. I think Aladino did an outstanding job.
So I agree with everything that's been said so far and everything we've talked about tonight. I think the price, first and foremost, I think it's a brilliant price on limited edition. I think more cigar manufacturers should be releasing cigars at this price. I think this is a good testament to you can put out excellence and make it accessible to every single cigar smoker who wants something special. I think trying to reach into the $20, $30, $40, $50 plus, I think, of course, that's where it's trending. I don't think it's coming back from that, but it's nice to see a manufacturer that we respect so much putting out a cigar at $15. And this for them is a highlight of their year. And they're still so respectful of their consumer, of the audience who's smoking their cigars, to put it at $15. So I love that. No question about that. However, this cigar at a 9 is a step below the other Aladinos that I love. It's just one step below that. It's below the 85th. It's below the classic line. For me, it's below the Cameroon, but not far.
And why?
Because I think like the Bourbon BAM, like Senator was just saying, there's not one standout thing that created like this flavor memory for me.
That is very true. Very true.
It was like, it's crazy how excellent it was all the way through and how much of an enjoyable smoke it was. But there wasn't like a flavor memory that really stuck with me that I can really pinpoint, just like the Bourbon. And just like the Bourbon, I'm giving this a 9. Like, I really enjoyed it. I'm going to buy a box, probably if I could find it, but it wasn't a perfect cigar for me. And I think that's probably why. I'm curious how this cigar is going to do with time. Of course, we're smoking a cigar that's effectively 2-3 weeks out of the factory. We're talking a week or two out of the retailer. Like, we're smoking this very early on because of what it says on the band, what it stands for, and the timing of the 250th anniversary of this country. So that's why we're smoking it tonight. With 6 months, would this be a 10? Who knows? I think this thing could have legs. I think this thing could get interesting. So I'm curious where it's going to be in a little while.
The only thing I would say, I'm not sure. I don't want to definitively say it's not, for me, that it's not better than the 85th or the Cameroon, because what I will give this a ton of credit for, it's more complex than both of those cigars.
I totally agree.
So like, I am completely understanding of someone who feels that this is better than both of those. I think there is a legitimate argument to be made there. The flip side of that is just for my palate, what draws me back to a cigar
is specificity.
Is a defining note.
Yes.
And it didn't have one defining note that kind of carried all the way through. Like,
that's fair.
The perfect example, we talk about the citrus. That was very interesting to me early on. And the cigars that we have gotten that in have been few and far between.
Well, not BAM, but the rest of us.
Correct, the rest of
us. I'm still chasing that citrus. I can't get it.
And I think of like the Aging Room Sonata, we call out citrus, and that holds all the way through that cigar. Oh, that's what made that
defining
memorable.
Feature of that cigar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think of the Sonata and I think of, oh, wow, a citrus note in a Nicaraguan cigar like that. That's something that I chase.
Yep.
I got that for a moment in time here, but there was not that one note all the way through. So that's why for me, but I do understand for others who may feel that this is better than both of those because there definitely is more complexity. I have probably never called out as many distinct notes on an Aladino cigar, and I do think that deserves a lot of credit.
We spent, I think, the first 10 minutes of the episode talking just flavor notes.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Right? So, again, for me, it's a 9. I'll finish up with one more note. It smoked too fast. I think it smoked way too fast tonight. I think that was really the only detriment to the cigar. I'm not going to punish it too much for that. Again, I'm curious how it's going to be with time. So I'm going to buy a box. We'll see how it goes. And if we have different experiences, we'll report back. I do want to say one more thing. To your point about somebody falling in love with the cigar, I can definitely see a lot of our audience picking up the cigar, smoking with us, and saying it's the best cigar they've ever smoked.
Yeah.
It could absolutely be that cigar for some folks out
there.
Or
the best Aladino.
Or the best Aladino too. Yeah. I mean, I can see this really working for someone's palate out there, and I can feel Chef coming with that right now. But for me, it's a 9. Chef.
Yeah.
That energy is exuding
I
from
can
Chef.
feel it. That polo is popping.
Well, I'm actually kidding, but
Those shorts are riding up even further.
oh, they're fucking crotch high right now. That's a demerit.
Is he even wearing,
Dude, I put
is he
on
even
fucking
wearing
shorts.
pants?
I put on shorts and I say, are these short enough for Bam Bam?
I don't know. I got to see what he
Is he
stand
wearing
up.
Are these
pants?
high enough above the knee? You know, like.
Correct.
Anyways, yeah, I'm at a 10, and you know, I'm gonna say if
Exuding.
you wonder why, just listen to Senator's final comments and Giz's add-on to that. That's kind of where I'm at. You know, I understand what you're saying, Senator, where there isn't a definitive character that carries throughout the entire cigar, but for me, within the Aladino catalog and what I've had, this cigar stands apart, and I appreciate it for that. I appreciate that it delivers some flavors that I crave and look for in other cigars within the Aladino. And yeah, it did, you know what? It did smoke fast, but the price point is enough within reach that you could smoke these back to back and you're still well under an overhyped limited edition stick. And you know, you'll have a great experience. You wouldn't regret it smoking two. You know, it paired well with this bourbon. I love the, you know, the citrus and that first third, you know, it well into the first third there was fun. You know, some of the brown sugar, the fucking yellow cake notes that you were calling out,
Salted
Bam, was
pretzel.
spot on.
Don't forget tomato.
The savory salt tomato.
We're gonna edit-
vegetal.
That's
notes,
why it's a
right?
10.
Like
We're going to edit that.
this is all like this cigar delivered on so many levels and on, you know, all over the spectrum, and it did it well. It wasn't muddled, it wasn't lost. You know, things that we loved fell out and then came right back in, right when it needed to, right? Because a lot of cigars at that final third, they just kind of, you know, turn into muddled messes. And instead, this cigar brought us right back to the points that we enjoyed the most, which were those creamy, sort of sweet, you know, almost as if you were to make a latte and sweeten it with brown sugar. That's kind of where this cigar landed for me.
Yeah, very accurate.
So I enjoyed it. I think the price point is phenomenal. If I was to knock it for one thing, it would be awesome if there was an American tobacco in here to just highlight it, considering that it is celebrating America's birthday.
There might be.
Could be.
Yeah, who
But
knows?
there might be.
Newark.
But why not disclose
Sea
it?
caucus.
Correct.
Sea caucus.
Yeah.
The
So,
Pine Barrens.
you know, for me, that's the one knock I have. But for me, it's a 10.
Bam.
I'm just so happy that we discovered this catalog of cigars. Eiroa can't do wrong. I think he's a master. I don't know what he's doing or how he's doing it, but his cigars are incredible. I'm smoking a Cameroon right now. It is delicious from beginning to end, and every Aladino has presented itself that way to me. But tonight, I have to admit, that first inch, I did not enjoy. It was a little acidic for me. It was very pepper forward for me.
Citrusy.
No, I didn't get any citrus at all in this cigar. And
We finally get citrus and Bam doesn't.
yeah, I didn't
And
get
he's
it.
punishing the
But-
cigar
but
for
he-
that.
but he
Well,
got us.
no, I'm not. I'm not punishing for that. That first inch was just very tough. But as you said, Senator, once you get past that point, it got incredibly sophisticated. It was beautifully constructed from the point of view of how it performed, but also the flavor profile was very creamy, a touch of that salted butter. It was very graham crackery. And I noted earlier, and I'll say it again, it was probably the closest experience that I've had to Cuban cigar in a New World category. It very, very unique. And if Giz, if you're saying what you're saying is correct, if this is their statement cigar, I think because of how unique it is, I think they hit a home run. But because of that first inch of it, I'd like to talk to Eiroa about this. I'd love to have him smoke that cigar and give us commentary. I hope he can do that. I'm at a 9 because of that. But every other inch of that cigar, as you said, Rooster, it got better and better and better. And I took it down to under a half inch. My fingers were burning. It was just so delicious from that point forward. I just wish that first inch for me, the experience kind of just pulled that up forward and continued all the way down. The way this Cameroon is performing right now that I'm smoking, So I'm at a really enthusiastic 9. I wish I can give it a 10.
So, boys, the former Lizard rating tonight on the Aladino 250th, the Toro from Honduras, is a 9.2.
Yeah, nice score.
Let's compare that to the other 3 Aladinos we've done on the podcast.
Can I be blunt? It should be higher. It just should be higher. If for me, I would have given it a 10 if that first inch was great.
Said the guy who a minute ago, the former Lizard rating never fails.
I know.
Composite score is always perfect.
How do you feel about that 9.2?
I feel good about it.
Yeah?
I do. And I wonder, I think for all the commentary tonight, I guess my question for you guys is, do you think that where the price is at on this limited cigar, do you think that helped that score at all stay in the low 9s? Do you think if this cigar was a $30 cigar, it would have been a 9.2?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
And I think that is a merit to the price and the value in this cigar.
Yeah.
Where it's smoked today, me personally looking ahead to where it could get to potentially with a box purchase, waiting a few months, 6 months, whatever it is. I do think that the price factored in heavily into that. And I think if it was higher, it probably would have been a little bit lower on the rating.
And I also think that if it didn't burn as quickly, I mean, that would have helped the score.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this could have been a 9.4 or 9.5 even.
Probably.
Who knows?
I agree.
It is a bit of a merit, though. For me, when I love a cigar and I can't stop drawing from it, there's something to that for me because it's so delicious. And I want to have more and more and more.
For me, and I think almost all of us, it wasn't just that we were like, puffing away on the cigar. Like we were smoking it as we normally would.
Yeah.
And the fact that I've had one before this and the one I smoked before did not burn as quickly.
So
and I was enjoying it just as much. So I was drawing it regularly.
Here's a critical question. Do you think it was underpacked? Was it underfilled?
It could have been.
No, I don't think it was underfilled. I think that was
just loose.
Yeah, I think it was
Okay.
packed loosely. I don't think there was a ton of tobacco in there.
Just
I was
a
actually
question.
happy about that
Mhm.
because I thought the draw was really great. But it certainly burned, quickly tonight. So I guess we'll see what happens in the future here, boys. So let's compare that to the other 3 Aladinos we've done. We did the 85th Anniversario in Robusto on episode 219, the Aladino Cameroon Robusto on episode 187, and the classic Elegante, the Lancero, the first one we did on episode 160. All 3 scored
We
a perfect
know.
10.
That's correct.
So tonight at a 9.2, it's a little bit lower than that, but I can't say anything other than Aladino has been an absolute home run on this podcast.
They know what they're doing.
I mean, the scores speak for themselves, and I stand by every one of those. I know we all do. I mean, I'm still reaching for all of those cigars all the time. So a great night tonight, boys. We have to thank again Ariana Eiroa for coming on with us at PCA, having that great conversation with us. We look forward to more in the future. And I think, like we said earlier, boys, JRE and Aladino are in great hands with the Eiroa sisters and Justo and his wife. It's an awesome family operation. So if you love what they're doing, check out their website, check out their story with Julio. The whole Eiroa story is fantastic and interesting.
The other thing I just want to say, I give Ariana and the whole family credit for, they do a really great job of listening to retailers and the consumer, because the whole story around that 85th Lancero, she heard clamor for a Lancero in that part of their line. That's why they did it. There's so many times that we have commentary around certain brands. We say, I wish they just made X, and it never happens. And there's a zillion other people that feel the same way we do. And they don't care to actually listen to what the consumer wants and expects from them. And I think that Aladino has done a really, really smart job of exactly that. So I'm just always excited about a brand that really listens to their consumer. And I think, we have other brands that do a great job of that. Bon Roberts, Fabric of Five, there's so many others. And when we get to thanking our sponsors, I want to give a quick shout out to something that Bon Roberts is doing that I think is so cool. I saw on social media.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, boys. So we have to congratulate again Lizard Wilkins, our Lizard of the Week, who's going to win a 10-count box of cigars from Bon Roberts. And of course, we have to thank all of the other Lizards who contributed so heavily to the show tonight and always contribute so positively to the show. Please keep those emails, those voice memos, commentary, questions, everything else that you might have. It really is the lifeblood of what we do. It's why we do it. We love to hear from you. So please share your thoughts with us. Send us something. We would really love to hear from you. And with that, we have to thank Bon Roberts boys, our friends
Correct.
over there. They are so supportive of us, giving all our Lizards of the Week a 10-count box of cigars. Senator, what's the story on Bon Roberts that you want to share?
So I saw a really cool video that Hamlet put out the other day about how Bon Roberts is doing private label cigars.
Now, hold on. Did he have a glass of Cabernet in his hand?
Not this video.
All right.
Good question, Bam.
That's
Correct.
because he wasn't with us during the video.
That's also correct.
But I just thought so cool where basically you can reach out to them, and if there are certain notes and certain flavors and a certain style of cigar that you really like and you enjoy, Hamlet will personally blend a cigar for you based on your palate. I thought that was the coolest thing. And what made me think of it was just, commenting on how great it is to see a brand like Aladino listening to the consumer. This is that on steroids. I
Wow.
mean, to literally say we're willing to work one-on-one with not someone with, crazy amount of resources to go produce their own line of cigars, right? This isn't going to Klaus Kellner and saying, blend me, 20,000 of this type of cigar. But if you want something special for yourself, the fact that they will curate that and Hamlet will personally blend something for your palate, I think is so cool.
That's awesome.
I'm getting goosebumps because as a business owner, to be able to be that flexible for all of your clients and customers to give you something that's curated for yourself, that's incredible.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah, for all listeners, just check out Hamlet Paredes, his social media.
Wow.
You'll see this. And if you're interested, get in touch with them. It's an awesome opportunity.
That's insane.
Bon Roberts rules, boys.
They do.
Thanks to them again for supporting our Lizards of the Week and this podcast. Of course, boys, we have to thank Small Batch Cigar, the official retail partner of the Lounge Lizards podcast. We got our cigars tonight from them. Use our code Lizard15 for 15% off your entire order, plus 5% rewards, plus free shipping. They are the best.
They are.
They have so many great cigars, so many great deals. There's always a sale of some kind. There's great samplers.
How's the lizard sampler doing?
Sold out.
Of course.
We're working on another one.
Correct.
So we're going to get that together. But we really appreciate those guys and their support. And finally, boys, Fabrica 5. Of course, they have been a stalwart of support on this podcast. They are a presenting sponsor. We love those guys. Use our code LizardPod for 10% off everything at the store, Fabrica005.com, including Bon Roberts cigars. So you can use our code for everything there. You're crazy not to do it. I get emails every single day from folks who are blown away by Bon Roberts cigars. Like, Giz, I finally tried it. You were totally right. I can't believe it. It's finally slotting in where I'm reaching for that Cuban. So check out Fabrica005.com. They have some great cigars. One more time tonight, boys. The Bulleit Frontier Whiskey, 10 years age, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, was a 9.0. And the Aladino 250th was a 9.2. What a great night, boys.
Great night.
Rooster, happy birthday to you, my friend.
Happy birthday, Rooster.
It was nice celebrating with you tonight with this great cigar.
May you have another 250 years of good health.
One of the founding fathers himself.
That's correct. Right from the Rock of Gibraltar.
All we need is a wig with the white hair.
Correct.
On the Azores with a harpoon.
All right, boys. A great night tonight. We'll see everybody next week.
Jeez. Anybody would think Rooster's evil.
Hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks for joining us. You can find our merch store and ratings archive at our brand new website, loungelizardspod.com. That's loungelizardspod.com. Don't forget to leave us a rating and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. If you have any comments, questions, if you want to reach out, say hello, tell us what you're smoking, email us, hello@loungelizardspod.com. You can also find us on Instagram @loungelizardspod. We really appreciate your time, and we'll see you next week.